it's not even do I like Tatum more than Fultz, is the difference between Tatum and Fultz big enough where I'd rather have Fultz than have Tatum in that extra asset. And
right, and you pick up the other pick.
That's a bold decision to say that I'm going to do that.
And what you have to do in this league, and Ainge learned this when they picked up Ray Allen and then picked up Garnett, is you have to have somebody already in place when the next star says, I want out. And the stars in this league are as impatient as they've ever been. They're going, you know what? I don't like it here. I like the owner. I like the front office. I like the coach. I want a ring, too. I want to keep up with the Warriors. If Durant can do it, if LeBron can do it, I can do it, too. Maybe not so much in free agency, but I want to be out of here. So if you're running an NBA team that's on the losing side of these games, you at least have to come up with some kind of plan to put yourself in a position to have enough ammunition to grab a guy like Kyrie when it's your time. Now, it's granted also you're the Celtics. It's great ownership. It's a great coach. But he's been brilliant at that now twice.
And you have to look at the big picture, right? Like the whole story, because when you decide to blow this up, it's not just one decision you make and you're like, oh, here we are looking to win our 17th straight. He's made different decisions along the way and made turns. Like you said, no one's telling him to take Markelle Fultz, and he's saying like, yeah, I think I'm just going to do that. But it seems at every turn he's just making the right decision. So it's like his fruition is just coming through here.
And you know what's the best part about this is that because it's Boston, because Ainge wasn't a well-liked player outside of Boston, there's so much anti-Boston stuff out there that people were crushing Ainge for a really long time. And now you go, how does he go from one of the most criticized GMs to now somebody that's, I would put in the top 5? And I always thought he was that good.
No one bats 1,000 at this job, right? And so we bring up the successes. We don't bring up the Kedrick Browns and the Fab Mellos and all, like, everyone's got warts, but the idea is
you went Kedrick Brown on as well. I think that was the different guys before him.
Fab Melo was his.
But I mean, people are upset about his picks in the 20s.
Right.
When it's like, if you're going to screw up this game, screw up the picks in the 20s. If you screw up with 2 and 3, that's a different category.
All right. What I meant to say was, Ainge's vision is coming to fruition. We'll see if that happens tonight in Miami as the Celtics look for 17 against the Heat. Ryan, thanks, guys.
All right, coming up on SportsCenter Coast to Coast, Paul Pierce, Chauncey Billups on KD and the Warriors heading to OKC.
Rated RP2M. Now starting at $199.
PlayStation.
She's home! Nice.
I missed you guys.
Buy Totino's to unlock in-game Forza content.
With new styles and great fits, Wrangler jeans are ready for anything. The only question is, are you? Wrangler. New styles, great fits.
Why do I feel so dry?
You made that?
What we're gonna have you do is each have a bite of 2 different burgers. One is flame grilled, the other one is fried on the flat top.
Definitely flame grilled.
So much better.
What you're saying is that we should destroy this flat top.
Flat top is my enemy.
Get 2 flame grilled Whopper sandwiches for just $6, only at Burger King.
Andre is confident, but when it comes to mortgages, he's less confident. Fortunately, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
Lumber Liquidators Yellow and Black Friday flooring sales going on now. All Bellawood pre-finished hardwood is on sale. Get Wood Look waterproof flooring up to 49% off. More deals from 39 cents and special financing. Hurry, get to Lumber Liquidators Yellow and Black Friday flooring sale today.
This is the inaugural PK80. An exciting new tournament featuring 16 top-tier teams.
We'll have all kinds of stars
to celebrate a legend.
The most important man in the history of all sports. Spectacular slam. That is big time.
The PK80 presented by State Farm tips Thanksgiving Day at 2:30 on ESPN.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Antonio. I'm just helping Andy and you move in together so you can fill up with a big bowl of chunky mac soup.
It's got 40% more meat, so you could be more committed to the situation.
Situation?
New Chucky Max. We'll fill in while you fill up.
He once saved 2 birds with 1 stone. And he once drove 8 hours in a sidecar just to get to a game. He is Rob Riggle, the most interesting fan of college football.
That me?
Stay thirsty, mis amigos.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Can't miss outdoor moments. They all begin at the same destination. Start yours at Cabela's Black Friday Doorbuster Sale. For $9.99, get Cabela's hoodies for the family. $14.99, Cabela's Super Soft Flannels. And get a Nikon 3-to-9x40 BDC rifle scope for $99.99. Be one of the first 600 in line to receive a free giveaway. Doors open at 5 a.m. Cabela's is now open on Thanksgiving Day. Shop in-store and online.
Sports Center, brought to you by PlayStation Vue. Watch the biggest moments in sports. Try it free today. And Honey Nut Cheerios.
It's a Phil Knight birthday bash with 16 teams, 2 tournaments, 1 time only. The PK80 starts tomorrow.
Time now for Top Plays Tuesday edition. In number 10, we start the Maui Invitational. Notre Dame LSU, Matt Farrell firing the bounce pass between the legs. That's Martinez Gavin slamming it home. The pass and the dunk. We got a twofer here at number 10. Notre Dame wins it big, rolls them up 92-53.
Is that a nutmeg?
It was a nutmeg, 5-hole.
Speaking of, let's go to the pitch. Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo. Wow. Dude, he's got hops to get up for that header. Usually pretty good with the feet, but that was high.
Woo. To the ice, keeping the Canadians off the scoreboard here. Stars win at 3-1.
You mentioned the Maui Invitational, Marquette, Wichita State. Sakar Annam comes up with a steal to Rashard Kelly. 1 block there and 2 blocks there. Yes, 2 blocks on the same play by Rashard Kelly. Wichita wins it 80-66. They're really good, by the way.
They're pretty good. Number 6, Lakers and Bulls here. Bobby Portis drives down the lane.
Uh-oh.
It's Julius Randle. There for the rejection. Get up and get out. Lakers go on to win at 103-94. They trailed by as many as 19 in this game. Lake Show comes on back.
All right, more Champions League action here at number 5. Tottenham, Dortmund. Check out the save by Roman Berkey off that corner from Tottenham. Just full extension to get a glove on it and keep it out of the net.
Just enough. Number 4, Texas Southern at Kansas. Tough place to play. Odoku Azubuike.
Champions League, because for number 3, we've got more. Lorenzo Insigne comes up with an absolute rocket of a goal right into the back of the net. That's solid work. I still like Ronaldo's better.
You have all of those.
I like Ronaldo's better.
His was a lot better. Just on the dude's back. This is Cal VCU. That's Don Coleman driving down the lane. Marcus Lee, the putback. This is a teammate that's like, I got you. I got you, boo.
And number 1, we go to high school basketball. Spartanburg Day taking on Hammond. And yeah, it's that kid. I want to call him a kid, but he looks like a grown man. Zion Williamson. Oh my goodness. Get in the league already, man.
I love the kids' reactions. And later today on the 6th, an update on KD's ankle and his status for tonight's return to OKC. Right now, he's questionable. Part 2 of the Joel Embiid interview, his relationship with Ben Simmons and how they've come together this season. And Thanksgiving rivalry in the NFC North, Lions, Vikings, SportsCenter 6 Eastern on ESPN and on the ESPN app.
Our Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that the Clippers' Patrick Beverley has had surgery on his right knee. No timetable for his return. The Clippers have lost 9 in a row.
Coast to Coast on ESPN right now.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's.
Welcome to Paradise, everybody. Paradise Island, the Bahamas, and we are at the Atlantis Resort. And this is the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. Good one today, Tennessee and Purdue as they face off against each other. And certainly when you look at the field, you could make the case. You have three teams, all of them ranked within the top 20, that are thinking about playing late into March in a Final Four. We'll see Arizona later, Villanova this afternoon as Dick Vitale will join me then. But now I got the former Purdue great Robbie Hummel with me, the Hum Baby, alongside. I'm Carl Ravitch. Welcome. It's sort of our turn now. We've seen some great tournaments, and in this one you have a Purdue team from Matt Painter. They've been in the Sweet 16 before. They feel like they can get to the next step. How do they do it?
Yeah, this is a proving ground game for them, and it's a chance to show on the national level that they can contend and be one of those teams that gets to a Final Four level. But really, it's going to have to beat Carson Edwards. He's a guy, he's averaging 18.5 points a game, explosive guard. He can go for 30 at any time. If Purdue's going to be that team, he needs to be a guy that scores the basketball.
Think about Yogi Ferrell, the role he played, a facilitator and a scorer, and that's kind of what they expect to get from Carson Edwards. As we take a look at today's starting lineups, they're brought to you by Atlantis. Tennessee's a lot deeper than they've been, and that is something that they're going to need as far as having success, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a big tournament for them. They're trying to be a team that gets back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in Rick Barnes' tenure, and if they're going to do it, Admiral Schofield and Grant Williams have to be dominant on the inside.
They got a couple of 7-footers to Purdue. One of them starts, and you're looking at him there, and he got out-jumped. That's Isaac Haas, number 44. So Tennessee controls. Jordan Bone as their point guard. He handles the ball to start. Haas and Kyle Alexander doing battle down low. And the first shot is Admiral Schofield's. That one is off, but an offensive rebound for Tennessee.
Interesting matchup here early to start the game. You have the physicality of Schofield and Grant Williams going up against the skill of Dakota Mathias and Vincent Edwards.
Challenging the 7-footer, the fadeaway misses, and Haas pulls down the rebound.
Two pretty good defensive possessions there for Purdue, forcing Tennessee into jump shots. They want to get to that rim.
Another offensive rebound lost, and now it's Purdue's ball. Mathias got his man in the air, down low to Haas. That's too deep.
Well, he did his work early. He buried his guy right at the rim, and when you let him at 7'2" get that close to the basket, he's simple. He scores the basketball. Tennessee has to do a better job of pushing him out and making him work for his baskets.
Early 5-0 advantage for the Boilermakers, who won the Big Ten last year. Bone pull up too hard. That one is tipped in by Haas, actually. So 5-2 early will give Alexander the bucket, even though it was Haas who tipped it in. And here's some of that full court pressure, not really designed to turn you over, just to make it more difficult.
They're trying to wear you out. They're trying to take time off the shot clock. It is tough for a point guard when he has to face constant pressure all game. Purdue going to run that motion offense. They're so good at it. Matt Painter's so good at teaching it.
Edwards with a man in his face. That was a little long. Haas threw Alexander to the ground, and then they get that on Haas.
Kyle Alexander doing a great job of blocking Isaac Haas out. I think we're going to see Matt Harm sub in early for Haas here. It's the luxury the Boilermakers have. They can bring in two guys 7 foot tall. Actually 7'2".
4-0. They got a good win. They got a win at Marquette on the road early, so they're getting tested.
Great cut.
Really good cut and an easy lay-in to make it a 1-point ball game.
Great offense there by Tennessee. Good screen. Jordan Bowden reads it, gets to the rim. Good basketball there by the Volunteers.
Bowden off to a good start scoring this season. Tennessee a lot more athletic, perhaps, than Purdue. And that's really ultimately what we'll see, a matchup of the strength and size of Purdue against the athleticism of Tennessee.
Tennessee shot the ball well, Carl. Now they're 8th in the country in three-point shooting.
Alexander took it right away from Mathias. Tennessee pushes. And Bone on the ground, and he is tied up. And the possession arrow goes to Purdue. So you got two quality coaches who have been around a long time. This is the 3rd season at Tennessee for Rick Barnes, but he's coached for 3 decades.
He's been around a long time.
He's been around a while. And he really likes the depth of the team that he's got this season. This would be a good test for them early against a team like Purdue.
You talk about depth, Carl. He's able to bring in James Daniels III and Lamonte Turner, who both can play the point.
You see in some of that pressure defense, they get the foul on the play, but again, that's what Tennessee wants to do. They lost to South Carolina by 27 last season, and they said from the get-go, South Carolina kicked our butts all game long. They want to be that type of team.
And they have the athletes to be that kind of team.
Yeah.
We saw it in pregame, the warm-ups. I mean, it was a dunk contest going through their line. They are not short on athletes, and you know, when you have that, you can get out and pressure the basketball. It just speeds teams up, gets them out of their comfort zone. It's a luxury to have.
Daniel gets the foul called against him. Vince Edwards, he launches a long three and gets the bottom of the net. So a couple of early threes from Vince Edwards and Carson Edwards. And Purdue's got an 8-4 advantage. Purdue is 3 of 4 from the floor. Got to call a hook offensive foul. It looked like they got that on James Daniel.
We mentioned that matchup here coming into this game. Grant Williams having to guard Vincent Edwards, and Vincent Edwards having to guard Grant Williams. And so far, if Vince Edwards is going to make shots like that on the perimeter, it's going to be really hard for him to defend him.
Foul was ultimately on Williams. He's out of the game. So Purdue with a 4-point game. And the ball. And Edwards all the way to the hole. He gets it to go. What a start for Carson Edwards.
So just a blur in the front court there for Carson Edwards. Wasting no time getting into offense. He's that kind of player. At any time he can score, Carl.
John Fulkerson, number 10, has come into the game. 3-point shot, corner, Turner. That's good.
Just a great screen there by John Fulkerson. And Lamonte Turner reads it perfectly, just fades to the corner and knocks down the open three.
Back the other way. Edwards misses. Alexander the rebound. Here comes the orange. The pace favor either one of these teams?
No, I think it's what Tennessee wants to play at, but so far Purdue matching their intensity as we see Kyle Alexander get the lay-in there. But Purdue's a team that they can play fast too. And Isaac Haas is not in the game right now. Matt Harm's more mobile. He can get up and down the floor. A guy like Carson Edwards, Dakota Mathias, they can get out in the open court as well.
One of the early storylines too, Robbie. 3 offensive rebounds for Tennessee, and they're doing a good job on both ends. Here's a loose ball. Good pass to Edwards, launches a contested 3. It's off, and that one is going to go out of bounds. Boy, I thought everything was a little laid back and slower in the Bahamas. Not the way this game has started. 19 points already.
Guys, it's time to make your country bad boy country.
Bad Boy Mowers leads the zero-turn mower world with professional-grade power and performance, cut-quality perfection, and easy-ride innovations that can deliver a smooth ride all day, every day. In Bad Boy Country, we build them better in America to last a lifetime. 747 cc's, 60-inch cut, $49.99.
All American value, made American strong. Mow with an attitude.
If you like your pizza loaded with cheese, then have we got a crust for you. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Cheesy Crust Pizza. 16 cheesy pockets overflowing with a 5-cheese blend of melted cheeses. Only from Pizza Hut and only for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
In my experience, there are only 2 things guaranteed to grow. The cash value of your New York Life policy, a policy that keeps your family protected, and my famous crane souffle, which literally never stop growing. Be good at life. New York Life.
Monica, it is absolute chaos out here. Gale force winds, accumulations up to 8 inches. Don't know if you can even hear me.
What's he doing?
Can we get a shot of this cold front right here? Winter has arrived. Woo!
Progress is an unstoppable force. Brace yourself for the Season of Audi sales event. Audi will cover your first month's lease payment on select models during the Season of Audi sales event.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, classic American muscle. Mow with an attitude. Atlantis Paradise Island. Bahamas at heart. And New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life.
Welcome back, everyone. Atlantis, that's where we are. And yeah, Robbie Hummel is huge here. I didn't realize it. You are. It's not necessarily the Bahamas you're huge in, it's the fact that we got a lot of black and gold. Let's talk about the benefits, because you've played in tournaments like this.
Right.
What are the keys and the success and what you're hoping to accomplish?
Well, I mean, you're getting to test yourself against the best teams in the country, and obviously this is a great field. There's a lot of good teams here: Arizona, Villanova, Purdue, Tennessee. You know, has shown early that they're maybe a team that can be reckoned with this year. So I think you get a chance to just see where you're at. But at the same time, as a team, you're in a place that you may never get to go back to in your life. So you get to see a place like the Atlantis. Get to be in the Caribbean. It's a cool experience. You get to do some, I remember when I was down in St. Thomas, we got to do a scuba diving and boat excursion that was pretty cool. There's just a lot of things that you get to accomplish and see down here in these tournaments.
A couple of substitutions and one significant one. Yves Pons, who has the ball right now, 35. He's from France. He's been dealing with a bad ankle. Had a bad ankle last year. And he's actually been dealing with a bad ankle so far this season, and there was some question whether he was even going to play.
Yeah, I think Coach Barnes kind of intimated at shoot-around that he wasn't even sure. They were talking about maybe shutting him down, but apparently that ankle has responded. But you look at him, I mean, he is just made in the weight. He might live in the weight room, actually, Carl.
He may be also the best athlete that Barnes has had here at Tennessee in his 3 years. Edwards, that one is blocked, but Harms is there for the rebound, and that's one thing they want to see from the kid from the Netherlands, Matt Harms at 7'3", more sort of power to a finesse game, which he already has.
Sure, I mean, his skill set is very unique, and at 7'3", he can put the ball on the floor and he can shoot the basketball, but they're just following up, making a nice play there of cleaning up Vincent Edwards' miss.
Monte Turner gets the high screen, stops for a three. And that one is going to go and be against Tennessee. Hey, of course, the tournaments have already started, but Feast Week continues. The championship for the Maui Invitational. If you haven't seen Landry Shamet play for Wichita State, they had a battle earlier in this tournament, was able to survive. He's been terrific. And Bonzi Colson, 2 NBA prospects on the floor tonight.
Well, Mike Bray has done a great job with this Notre Dame program, and Bonzi Colson, one of the best players in the country, a double-double threat every night. He's going to be a force there in South Bend.
Bonzi Colson is like on the year 9 project. He was like Hummel at Purdue. We never could get rid of Hummel.
Why leave?
He was there. Here's a three. And this is a team that has been led by their seniors so far this season. Their outside shooting's been outstanding, and they knocked down another three.
And that's what they've done all season, shooting the basketball at a ridiculously high rate. P.J. Thompson shooting 55% of the season.
That one is uncontrollable. It goes out of bounds. A little too much mustard on that pass from Derek Walker. And the fourth turnover is Darrington had that go off his hands. Chris Darrington. Tennessee will go 10-11 deep right now.
I mean, this is definitely a very deep basketball team. And Derek Walker, a guy that this summer was great in their foreign trip. Kind of been derailed here by a concussion. Trying to get back into the swing of things here for the Volunteers.
Edwards, no. Harms. We're going to have 3 substitutes come in for Purdue. So Harms, you can almost see, got poked in the eye. He gave you a good roll right there. And first free throw is missed. He comes out of the game as Isaac Haas, the 7-footer, comes back in. Edwards and Thompson join him on the bench. Nogel Eastern, number 20, into the game. They love his athleticism. A freshman guard, a 6'6", 220-pounder out of Evanston, Illinois.
He's a guy that can really pass, Carl. He's just got great vision for his size. A unique combination for a guard, especially at the college level. He's going to have to deal with some pressure here tonight, though, because Tennessee's going to go right after him.
Yep. Ryan Klein also into the game for Purdue. Edwards, that's a travel. And a turnover for Purdue. So you're 4 games in for Purdue. You're just a couple of games in for Tennessee. You're this deep with 8, 10, 11 guys coming in. When do you start to cut it down to about 8, 9?
Well, I mean, in these tournaments, depth is important. You're playing 3 games in 3 days. So I think it's not the time for that now. But as the season progresses, you get farther into conference play. It's really important to kind of narrow that rotation down. You're going to see teams go to an 8 or 9 man rotation because there's just not enough minutes to go around.
Yeah, Tennessee's already played 11 guys, so Rick Barnes has been substituting often. Want to improve their ball screen defense. On offense, they want to get down the floor. As they said, they got 10 or 11 guys that could start, let alone play, but 10 or 11 that could start. Blocked and down hard on the ground, but back up. Boy, that was a physical play as you saw the 7-footer knock that ball away, and Darrington hit the ground hard here.
Well, it's a grown man's game in this paint for both teams, and Isaac Haas going up and denying Chris Darrington.
Admiral Schofield way short. That's an air ball. And it'll be a Purdue ball.
You know, for him, I want to see Admiral Schofield go down on the block. I think with his physicality, he's got Vincent Edwards, he's got Dakota Mathias guarding him. He's a guy that can go down there and punish them. And you know, he's shot the three-pointers well this year, but you want it to be in the offense. That's a shot that's not in the flow of the offense, and I think he just needs to go down there, get a bucket, get himself going.
It was only 1 second on that shot clock when he fired it up. Klein, his first shot no good, tipped at the rim. It doesn't go in. Tennessee will push it with Bone. Great pass. And a bucket. There's Schofield down low, and he gets it to go.
Jordan Bone showing right there that he can get going in transition. The point guard doing a little bit of everything here. The Volunteers fighting back with Purdue.
And the Admiral here at Atlantis getting it to go.
This is where you're wide awake, but it feels like a dream, where you can roam endlessly, walk on water, or under it, where life expresses itself as an endless flow of energy, where there's only one question: are you ready? Atlantis, Bahamas at heart.
Book by November 30th for the best winter rates at 1-800-Atlantis or AtlantisBahamas.com.
For 100 years, heritage and innovation have made Gillette the #1 shave in America. Now get Gillette quality at lower prices every day. Brought to you by 1,200 workers in Boston. We're proud of giving you our best. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Right now at Burger King, get 2 cheeseburgers, fries, and a drink for just $3.49. That's 2 flame-grilled cheeseburgers, fries, and a drink for just $3.49. It's a big deal on an even bigger meal, only at Burger King.
Lumber Liquidators Yellow and Black Friday flooring sales going on now. All Bellawood pre-finished hardwood is on sale. Get Wood Look waterproof flooring up to 49% off. More deals from 39 cents and special financing. Hurry, get to Lumber Liquidators Yellow and Black Friday flooring sale today.
Welcome back, everyone. Boiler up. That's what Purdue did yesterday. Kind of a relaxing day. They had an hour shoot around. Then they got a chance to experience all that is Atlantis, and that's the big fella going down what they call the leap of faith. It's a tube that just goes straight down like that. Lee's gone.
A lot of displaced water right there, Carl.
That is a water displacement. Woo! Well, Isaac Haas, all the 8 teams enjoying it. Let's talk about Tennessee's ability to penetrate here and get an easy bucket.
Yeah, Jordan Bone doing a great job in transition, and that is what he is known for. Reading the defense. Dakota Mathias commits. Admiral Schofield at the rim for an and one. Tennessee, a team that can get it going in transition in a hurry. Maybe not the half-court team that Rick Barnes would like them to be right now, but when you can get yourself going with an easy one, this is great for Admiral Schofield because he's had some tough looks. Missed some shots here early in the game, gets a layup. Now he gets to shoot a free throw, gets to see the ball go in the basket. We'll see if that makes a difference for him coming out of this timeout.
Trying to replace some of the productivity that Robert Hubbs took with him when he left. He was a 14-point-a-game guy. And Schofield will play inside and outside. So a good start, 15-13, under 12 to go here. The battle for Atlantis. 8-team tournament. They get it down low to the big fella, and he throws it hard off the backboard. Perhaps still reeling from the leap of faith.
And maybe Kyle Alexander's defense there, that length affecting Isaac Haas's shot.
Ball to a 500 team last year, and I mentioned Hubbs, who's now gone, led the team a little deeper this year. A three-pointer in and out from Bone. Haas had it and lost it. And now battle on the floor, and it's Purdue ball. Klein, good pass, good look. Yeah, two men up in the air. That opened up a three, and in and out. That one off the rim for Dakota Mathias.
That's a shot that Matt Painter will certainly live with. Mathias shooting 80% from three to start this season. A ridiculous clip for him.
Wide open. Buries that one, Dakota Mathias. He was 13 of 16 from three-point land this season. We'll take a 30-second timeout with Purdue up by 5.
This is
Battles aren't won solely on the field. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear. Enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise of battles won.
Purdue on that last possession, doing a very good job on the pick and roll. We're going to take a look here. Dakota Mathias running the floor, getting to the corner. Vincent Edwards bringing the basketball up. Take a look. Isaac Haas trails in here for the ball screen. Look at Dakota Mathias, defender. Admiral Schofield sucked into the paint. Mathias with the three. Great offense for the Boilermakers early.
They've made more threes than twos. Oh, there you go. Admiral Schofield steps out. He knocks down a three. Rick Barnes probably saw what you did. He told his team in that quick timeout, let's try to avoid that. They come back after that timeout with their three of their own. A lot of long-range shooting in this game. Edwards fadeaway, tough shot, and he comes up short. Good hustle, but did he step out of bounds? Yes, he did. B.J. Thompson had it for a second.
Tennessee is doing a much better job in the last 4 or 5 minutes contesting these jump shots. You know, these have not been open looks for Carson Edwards. He started the game, defense was a little lax, but they've really stepped it up. They've gotten kind of into Purdue, and they've done a good job defensively, making it tough on him on the offensive end.
Admiral Schofield's got the last 6 for Tennessee, the son of a Navy man. That's why you get the first name Admiral. He's got a brother who's also named General. Here's Admiral with the ball. They've got 7 offensive rebounds. You asked Matt Painter yesterday. They seem to have just about everything you want. They have seniors. They have good experience. They can shoot. They got inside. So what's the Christmas? What's the wish list? He said rebounding.
Yeah, and that's been kind of an issue. They saw it in their first game against Southern Illinois Edwardsville. Rebounding the basketball, sometimes an issue for this team.
Tennessee, while they're doing great on the offensive glass, they've turned it over 6 times.
I think back to Purdue's rebounding, you know, you say, how can they struggle at rebounding? They've got a 7-3 guy, they've got a 7-2 guy. And, you know, Isaac Haas doesn't always rebound outside of his area. It's tough for him to move his feet. He's a big guy.
Yeah, you may have just seen it there.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's hard for him to go get balls and chase balls down that are away from him. So you look at a team like Purdue, Vincent Edwards, the guards, they have to be guys that are crashing into the glass and helping the bigs rebound the basketball.
Harms sprints to the scorer's table. Haas will go out.
He's excited to get in that game.
And Harms, who didn't take that finger to that eye, and you can see he's starting to develop a little shiner underneath that right eye of his. 24, Grady Eifert on the floor for Purdue as well, and he's going to get called for a foul guarding Williams. Eifert, familiar last name, of course, his brother Tyler, now in the NFL.
His dad played at Purdue. It's a pretty athletic family right there.
14th foul on Purdue. They'll try to isolate Eifert down low. No good in the rebound for the Boilermakers. Smaller lineup on the floor for them now. Edwards got it to go. What body strength from Carson Edwards.
Well, he's built like a football player, Carl, and you saw that in space. He is so good. Gets ahead of steam, beats Jordan Bone off the dribble, but he just hangs in the air. Tough shot. And Carson Edwards with the chance to make this an and one. He's always in attack mode. Always looking to score the basketball.
7 points. You can see a 74% free throw shooter. He does have that scorer's mentality.
Right. And he's a guy. He could miss 10 shots, and he fully believes that number 11 is going in. And that's a skill, because not everybody is built like that.
But those that are, they have it, and they're
no
launching.
Doubt. And they will. They're always like that. I wish I would have been. It was, you know, you miss a couple. Sometimes it can waver your confidence. He is not that guy.
Last meeting between Tennessee and Purdue was at that Paradise Jam in 2009. You remember that game?
Yeah. Etwan Moore, MVP of the tournament. Great game. I mean, Tennessee was really good. Tyler Smith, Wayne Chisholm.
You guys beat them 73-72, and the Hum Baby had 20 in that game.
They had a shot to win it at the end, and we were lucky that they missed.
Tough shot there. The defense has been ratcheted up a little bit by Purdue. They got a 5-point lead. Edwards. Ooh. Nifty little crossover to open himself up for the three, but he couldn't get it to go. Bowden, he launches. Another offensive rebound. Turner's three. That's off. And it'll go which way? It's going to go to Purdue. Tennessee doing a good job on the offensive boards. They are battling. However, they are 2 for the last 13. See Robbie Hummel in a uniform, actually playing ball when we come back.
It's a wide open, full throttle bad boy country out there, where we deliver more mowers for every part of it, packing the power and speed that blurs the line between work and play, where true value is measured over time and time again. Classic, American muscle. Make your country bad boy country.
Mow with an attitude.
Dave & Buster's gives you half-price games every Wednesday. Every game is half off all day long. This game, that game, all the games, half off every Wednesday. All the fun and half-price games every Wednesday only at Dave & Buster's.
Domino's, 2 large pepperoni pizzas, please.
Only Domino's lets you earn Piece of the Pie rewards points when you order by phone, online, or when you order in store. We make it easy for you to earn free pizza any way you order.
Being a location scout, my office is on my back. The less stuff I have to carry, the better. With Service Pro, I have one device that does everything. Technology has really changed how I do this job. On Pacific Rim Uprising, our characters are 250 feet tall. Where in the heck are you gonna land this big robot? Pulled up a satellite image, and there is like a giant bullseye. Robots here. I feel very proud of what I bring to the screen. I have the greatest job in the world.
They say you don't choose the app. The app chooses you. It can stream the games and shows that I love, and it's there whenever I need it.
Long before HD, 2009, the Paradise Jam. Robbie Hummel working the baseline, little floater, 20 points, had 7 boards that game. Is it all coming back to you?
7 of 16. Ugh, not one of my better shooting nights. But no, it was a great game. I mean, they were a really good team, and we had a really good team too. But you know, you look at our squad: Etwan Moore, Juwan Johnson. It was really fun. A great group to play with. And yeah, I look back on that fondly for sure.
All right, so compare, because you get a lot of guys that are going to jump to the NBA after maybe their freshman year. You were there for 5 years. You played professionally. You played overseas. Were the college years the best years?
Yeah, they were the most fun. I mean, I think you look at playing as a pro, it's a business, and I think it's tough to understand. And actually, you know, when I was a 5th year, I wasn't playing great. Brian Cardinal came back, you know, the former Purdue player. He just won a championship with the Mavericks, and he told me, because I wasn't shooting the ball very well, and I was kind of struggling. Our team wasn't as good. He told me, hey man, you got to enjoy this, because college basketball, you're playing with your friends, it's the most fun you're ever going to have. And I was like, Brian, you just won a championship with the Mavericks, please. But he was right. You know, you're with these guys every day. You're at tournaments like this. It's a great experience.
Well, we're happy to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
Matthias misses a 3 as we're under the 8-minute mark here. First half, battle for Atlantis and the Maui Invitational. Of course, also going on right now in the championship game later tonight. Should be a good one. Wichita State and Notre Dame, 10 Eastern time on ESPN2. We'll see Villanova later. And over on ESPN3 later this evening, too. Arizona, my goodness, are they athletic. Oh, my goodness.
And skilled. They are an elite team in college basketball this season.
And you talk about Arizona, you talk about, at least from the Bahamas as well, DeAndre Ayton is a physical specimen. If you haven't seen him play yet, he's like a gymnast who plays basketball. I mean, literally, that flexible 7'2" gymnast. Western Kentucky takes on Villanova after we're done with the first game, right around 2 o'clock Eastern time. Northern Iowa brings back 11 of their 12 from last year. They're really deep. And SMU's got Shake Milton. All games streamed live on the ESPN app as well. We'll play on Thanksgiving and end it on Friday. There's DeAndre Ayton, man. Nassau, Bahamas, 18 and 11, and you just get the sense if he wanted to, that could be a lot higher.
Well, I think you're looking at it. He's playing with Alonzo Trier, who's averaging 30 a game.
30.
So we asked Sean Miller yesterday, you know, how do they play together? Do they feel like it's good for them? You know, do they like it? Do they not like it? And he said both these guys are mature enough to understand that they make life so much easier on the other one. So you look at that Arizona team, they can play a lot of ways. You know, they can play fast, they can play out of the post, they can, you know, they can do it all pretty much. And I think you're going to see they're one of the elite teams in college basketball this season.
I mean, you ask Sean about athletes that he's recruited, and Arizona's recruited some athletes.
Yeah, and we talked about that yesterday too.
And he said Ayton is the best. It's not, especially as far as his development at such a young age.
Yeah, and think about the pros that have left early from that program. You're talking about Andre Iguodala and, you know,
Bibby left early.
Yeah, Mike Bibby, and you know, there's so many guys. Gilbert Arenas, just guys that were stud pros, good athletes. And DeAndre Ayton, he said, is the best he's had, and Arizona has had. We could put together an NBA All-Star team with the guys that have played basketball there.
6 fouls on Tennessee. They're going to get Matthias there with the foul as well. As we're beginning this college basketball season, and Matthias picks up his first. Any of the rule changes, and they're not major, they're minor, right, but there's certainly some changes here that affect the way the game is played.
You know, I think just the he's still moving.
Point though, again, with the whole cylinder freedom movement, it's designed for the offensive players.
Right.
Like the NFL.
Yes.
You know, we're designing things to improve the offense.
Well, they're trying to increase scoring. And they're trying to decrease the physicality of the game. And just in seeing the way it's called, as a former player, I think I might fall out in 5 minutes sometimes with the way they officiate it now. But, you know, I think as these officials get into conference play, sometimes these rule changes do kind of fade out. You don't see them as prevalent. You know, at the start of the season, they're called so much tighter, and you kind of get back to the way things were as conference play comes. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like this year. But yeah, the freedom of movement is a huge thing in college basketball. They certainly want the offense to be aggressive.
Carson Edwards has 10, and Admiral Schofield misses. Wow, what a rebound. You're not kidding. Out of nowhere came the leaping Lamonte Turner. And he's given up some inches to some of the other guys that were trying to get that ball.
So Tennessee did a good job on that last possession of getting Admiral Schofield an open three, a little pick and pop action.
It's an interesting approach with Schofield, given, as you said, his size, as there's 5 on the shot clock, that they would rather have him almost be an outside player than an inside player. Another offensive rebound lost there by Alexander. They still battle for it, and Purdue will try to push with Edwards. Swing it to Matthias, the extra pass, and it was a good one. That three is good. P.J. Thompson from the corner.
Right there, Carl. That is absolutely big-time basketball played by the Purdue Boilermakers. Vincent Edwards advances the ball. Get a little swing. Dakota Matthias finding his point guard. That's textbook. Advance pass. Carson Edwards finds a trailing Dakota Matthias, making the extra pass. There's so many shooters on this Purdue basketball team, and you run at one and you're leaving another guy that right now is probably shooting in the 40s or the 50 percentile range.
They've been on a 9-0 run here in the last 5 minutes.
We talked about it. This is an interesting venue. This isn't a typical stadium for these guys to play in. It's a short roof.
It's a ballroom that they've transformed into a basketball court. And you mentioned it for people at home watching, wondering, like, how close is that basketball coming to the ceiling when they shoot it? It's a 26 feet to the ceiling, from floor to ceiling.
No full court shots this game.
No, you're gonna, unless you're shooting a line drive that's going in.
No arc.
And the lighting's a little different, but they were all in here yesterday, and we've seen, obviously, they can make shots. It's not that big a distraction.
Tennessee needs to get something going to the rim here, Carl.
They did, and how about that? Drawing the foul on Harms, and that was one of those, we talked about the new rules. Now, he was running with him, which I get, but clearly the offensive player created the contact.
Yeah, he did, and Lamonte Turner embracing the physicality of the game, gets the contact. That's
a close one
that's
under the new
a lot
rules.
by the offense. But what a strong drive.
Lamonte Turner, how about the offensive rebound he grabbed?
Man, he was up there. And he's kind of known as a three-point shooter, but he never got that one.
Redshirt freshman last year. The thing Rick Barnes wants he and the other guards to do was to rebound a little more, and I think Turner, at least early on here, we've seen him buy into that big time.
They don't have great size, but they do have great length and great athletes.
Haas back into the game. Harms for that foul goes to the bench. Edwards, that's long, and Turner picks up the rebound. So Lamonte Turner, offensive and defensive rebounds.
That's illegal.
Yep. On Kyle Alexander out top, trying to set a screen on Thompson.
Tennessee struggling offensively here early. Got 10 offensive rebounds, but only 4 second chance points. An area that they certainly feel like they can score the basketball in. Unable to finish over Purdue's length, though.
7 turnovers. Once again, Edwards, this time the ball fake. He drives, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Edwards.
Lamonte Turner has really kind of been the spark here for Tennessee. Doing it on the offensive end, the defensive end. He's rebounded. He has had a good first half of basketball.
Eifert and Klein re-enter the game. Both Vincent and Carson Edwards come out. 20 seconds until the 4-minute mark. So you get a break, so you get an extra rest while you come out before that commercial break. Tennessee's gone cold. They've got 3 points in their last 6 minutes. Now they got 6 as Turner drains it. And Lamonte Turner's having a nice couple of minutes here.
Yeah, you feel like he's kind of the guy that's keeping Tennessee in this game right now. Knocks down what he's known for.
He's got 9. Good help defense. Really good pass. The cutter was Eifert. And he lays it up and lays it in, and the lead grows to 7.
Well, Dakota Matthias finding a cutting Grady Eifert. And how about this statistic? Since last season, he is coming into this game 19 of 22 from the field. 86%. The beneficiary there of a great Dakota Mathias pass.
19 of 22. That's impossible.
That's video game right there.
Do you pass it when there's a man, even when you have an open shot and you're not feeling good, you just get rid of it? Like, I got to keep my percentage up.
Got to keep those numbers up.
Good move there as Big Isaac Haas used the rim as a protector for himself.
You know, Carl, when he's on balance and he takes his time, he is a really, really good scorer for this Purdue team. It's when he tries to do things that maybe he's not as good at. He keeps it simple, just like he did there. He scores the ball, and he's an effective weapon for this Purdue team.
Long three. How about Lamonte Turner?
Well, he's got it going, and I think right now he's got to be a guy right now that carries Tennessee, because offensively they have struggled, but they find themselves down 6. I think if you're Rick Barnes, you absolutely take where you're at right now. They got to finish this half strong in the last 3 minutes.
Lamonte Turner's got the last 9 and a dozen in the game, and the 2:30 mark, a chance to get it below 6.
A little pick and roll action for Turner would be just what Tennessee could order up right here. Great cut. Ah, he missed him.
Good look to Alexander, and he gets it to roll over the front of the rim.
How about the catch? I mean, good pass, but Alexander certainly agile there.
Matt Painter not pleased with what he sees. 31-27, we take a timeout in the halftime report coming up.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart, and Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter.
In Nassau, Paradise Island, Bahamas, we know better. For the best deals on resorts and travel, visit NassauParadiseIsland.com, because it's better in the Bahamas.
If you like your pizza loaded with cheese, then have we got a crust for you. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Cheesy Crust Pizza. 16 cheesy pockets overflowing with a 5-cheese blend of melted cheeses. Only from Pizza Hut, and only for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Heineken has been family-owned since 1873. They know about tradition. My favorite tradition? You shouldn't have. Exchanging gifts. I actually bought these myself. There's more behind the star.
Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. Ever Us. One diamond for your best friend, one for your true love. For the one woman who's both. Ever Us. Available at Kay, Jared, and Zales.
Let out your inner child at the Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2018 ES350 for $319 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Monday Night Football. Texans, Ravens, Monday, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN.
With Chris Spatola, Dallin Cuff, I'm Adnan Burke. Coming up in the Land Rover halftime report, we'll be talking about what's happening with Louisville star freshman Brian Bowen, and also giving our thoughts on Army Columbia.
Big game last night.
Well, what do you think of so far this game, Chris?
Well, I got to tell you, Admiral Schofield is good, but I'm much more partial as an Army grad to his brother, General Schofield. True story.
True story. That's all you got. That's good stuff.
And Dallas first, Purdue looking pretty good right now.
Purdue's looking solid. Tennessee need to get more paint touches. Don't settle for early threes. They can shoot it. Don't have to shoot it early.
Back to Robbie and the hum, baby.
Yeah. Spatola listening to the telecast. He's a Navy son, that Admiral and the General, son of a Navy man. Edwards goes to the baseline. A lot of traffic there. He loses it. Tennessee at the ball on the ground. That's a shot clock violation. Good defense by the Volunteers.
There was just nowhere for him to go. Drives the baseline. Tennessee, textbook defense, sliding over, shutting down that driving lane. Great baseline help and recover there by the Volunteers. And Purdue, you know, they're struggling here.
Yeah.
They have not scored the ball in the half court at all, really. It's been in transition. It's been tough on them. Tennessee doing a good job.
You mentioned Carson Edwards at the top. He's 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3. Both these teams have launched combined 25 three-pointers. They've made only 9.
Sure, they're getting them up. That's kind of the age of basketball we are in. Some people say, is it the Warriors? Have they changed the game, kind of? And I have to think that's yes.
Bone, that'll come up short. He made a nice move to free himself. That's off the foot, though, of Edwards, and it will stay Tennessee ball. Really, you think the influence of the Warriors?
I just think just the way they play. I think whether it's an NBA setting, I think in a college setting, I think the three-point shot is more valuable today than ever, and I think we've seen that. And it seems like, you know, right now, if you're a kid growing up, it's cool to shoot threes. It used to be cool to dunk. Now it's, you know, it's cool to be shooting Steph Curry like threes and playing that way.
And it doesn't matter, obviously, what size you are.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look at the big man we have now, the Joel Embiids, or we said DeAndre Ayton yesterday. This guy he's 7'2", and he's able to shoot three-pointers. He can dribble. He's skilled. Right. That's kind of the new age 7-footer that we see now.
5 on the shot clock, 3 on the shot clock. It gets off, and it drops. Good shot there by Chris Darrington late at the buzzer as we are at the 35-second mark with a 2-point lead for Purdue.
You know, he hasn't gotten going offensively yet, but he's a big-time scorer coming out of JUCO. And we see Purdue, the struggles continue. Just didn't catch the basketball there. Hit him in the hands.
Yeah. That's
one he's got to have.
Is that something you can work on as a big guy, your hands? I mean, literally catching the ball?
Now, you can work on it, but I think a lot of the time that's just something that you have. You know, you talk about a big guy. A lot of the time they have, they have stone hands. That's the old saying. And I think sometimes it's hard for these guys. But Isaac, you know, he knows he should have caught that ball.
8th turnover the first half, and we are under 20 with a differential of about 3 on the shot and game clock.
We're going to see a Jordan Bone isolation right here.
More offensive rebounding, Alexander. Oh, the cutter! The Admiral lays it in, and we'll go to break, all tied up at 31.
Well, the Admiral not giving up on the play, giving us a little bit of what we saw in that pregame warm-up. This Tennessee crowd is fired up, and they have every reason to be. Great pass, Kyle Alexander, Admiral Schofield.
Hello. Really good pass. A 9-0 run in the last 3 minutes. And it's time for the Land Rover halftime report.
All right, Robbie, thank you very much. It is indeed the Land Rover halftime report with Dallin Cup, Chris Patola. I'm Adnan Verk. Purdue was looking pretty good with that 9-0 run, changing things up, Dallin.
Now, Rick Barnes' crew has really played with incredible energy and effort. Double-digit offensive rebounds. Purdue's got to clean it up, or they could get shocked in this first round.
Yeah, they have imposed their will on teams so far this season. Purdue has. But I'll tell you what, these Tennessee kids get after it. They're a bunch of junkyard dogs. They're typically always outsized, but they are monsters on the glass.
Well, look forward to that second half. But some news to pass along involving Louisville. They've announced that star freshman Brian Baum will not play for the Cardinals, but can transfer if he wishes. He's not allowed to practice or play for the team, the school announced today. He will remain on scholarship as long as he is at Louisville, though. He can also choose to pursue professional opportunities. He was suspended indefinitely in late September following the FBI investigation into corruption and bribery in college basketball recruiting. Chris, your reaction?
Well, look, we put so much on young people these days. Every generation thinks that the next one represents a decline. In this particular case, this was an adult problem. The grown-ups in the room around this young man failed him. They were corrupt. The parents, the advisors, the assistant coaches acting as proxy for Hall of Fame coaches. We have an adult problem right now. The adults in the room around this kid, they pimped this kid to make a buck. And look, we could say, well, the kid, you know, he's not innocent. Yes, he is. If there are grown-ups involved, they are responsible for showing this kid what's right, and they led him down a wrong path, and now he's going to have to change schools. It's not fair, and we have a grown-up problem. Stop picking on the kids. We have an adult problem right now.
Yeah, the unfortunate situation is I don't know how you clean that up. I don't know how you fix that, because the adults in the room are going to continue to do this because it's been done for a long time, regardless of the FBI investigation. Even if the FBI comes down hard on this, when there's still money to be made by these coaches and there's value in these players, there's going to be these things happening. And it's not just the families around them. It's the advisors, as you mentioned. It's the coaches, AAU coaches, or grassroots coaches. It's all through the system. And that's the unfortunate part, is the players are who's continually punishing the system. I don't know if he ever put his hand out too, but everybody around him, people around him did, and others facilitated it.
Yeah, Bone was a 5-star prospect coming out of high school. He was number 14 in ESPN's top 100 of 2017. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to tonight, Wichita and Notre Dame. What to expect between these two teams, that's coming up next.
The Season of Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
When you've been making delicious natural cheese for over 100 years like Kraft has, you'll learn a lot about what people want.
Honey, do we have like a super creamy cheese with taco spice already in it? Oh, thanks.
Bon appetit.
Okay.
I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep. We match all the cashback new card members earn at the end of their first year automatically.
Woo, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1 for $1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
We get to walk.
Jen.
Mark. Wow, it's been a long time.
It has. How you been?
Good. Really good. Jake, this is Mark. We used to date.
Hey, Chief.
Cool.
So easy to dip.
See you, man.
So hard to put down.
It was nice.
Rolled chicken tacos are back. Tasty shredded chicken rolled up with your choice of dips. Only at Taco Bell.
This is the inaugural PK80, an exciting new tournament featuring 16 top-tier teams.
Spectacular slam. That is big time.
The PK80 tips Thanksgiving Day at 2:30 on ESPN.
When kids get really excited about my children's books, that's the best reaction.
I know things about great white sharks.
What's great about Paint 3D, it's exciting to see a shark come to life and come off the page. With the Windows 10 PC, to be able to draw right on the screen and create something three-dimensional is amazing. It's exciting to turn it and light it and have these different effects. With my Mac, I can't do that. When you see that the work creates a feeling in a kid, it feels great. And it's addictive. You want to keep doing it, you know?
Monday, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN.
It's a Phil Knight birthday bash with 16 teams, 2 tournaments, 1 time only. The PK80 starts tomorrow. You're watching the Land Rover Halftime Report.
With Chris Patola, Dallin Cuff, I'm Adnan Burke. Texas A&M taking on Penn State at the Barclays last night. This is Robert Williams, a layup here after Dwayne Wilson with the block.
This guy is an absolute freak of nature. Absolute freak of nature defensively, and a tremendous, watch this, tremendous finisher, Dallin.
That's why he's a lottery pick. Not only do you get that steal, you see the agility going down floor, then throwing it down with the oop. He's been tremendous. Off the bench, double-double.
Under 6 to go, it's DJ Hogue missing the free throw. Tyler Davis there for the putback. So Texas A&M wins it 98-87. How they rank up the SEC teams in the rankings right now, you got Florida, Kentucky, Texas A&M, and Alabama in the AP Top 25, and the BPI Top 25, Florida as well. We were talking yesterday with the SEC. Both of you guys said there's more depth there. Which is a team you have your eye on?
Well, sleeper team is Arkansas. Remember, this team won a game in a tournament last year and then almost beat North Carolina. They return a senior backcourt in Daryl Macon and Jalen Barford, who are explosive offensively. And then the question was, what do they do without Moses Kingsley? The freshman Daniel Gafford has really shown up on that offensive end. If he can be solid defensively, I really like Arkansas.
I like Arkansas. I like a lot like Alabama. Love the A&M. But I'm going to go with Florida, though. They're the highest-ranked team, but I think we keep forgetting about them. They're an experienced team that can really guard you. They can turn you over. And I do think they can score enough. Igor Kulikachov, excuse me, grad transfer from Rice. I'm going to get it really right one of these times. He can really shoot it. I think they will score enough. We'll find out. They'll be playing the PK-80, 3 straight Power Conference teams opponents.
PK-80, Battle for Atlantis, also the Maui Invitational right now going on. And to bring you up to date what happened last night, Wichita State over Marquette. That was during the day. And at night, Notre Dame was all over LSU. A formidable performance as Notre Dame has now won 31 their last 32 games versus unranked teams. TJ Gibbs, by the way, had a career-high 26 points. He was great for the Irish. So looking ahead to that matchup, Chris, how about the Irish defense?
Yeah, I was talking to Mike Bray a week ago, and he brought up defense with this team, and I kind of laughed, and he said, no, we can be good on that defensive end this year because our guys want to. A team that has been historically so good on that offensive end, it's easy to let up the rope defensively. They're going to have to guard today. They haven't played a team yet who has shot better than 40% against them. Today, it's going to be critical to guard.
Yeah, it's going to be critical to guard and to rebound and to just be tough, and particularly in the interior. This is Rashard Kelly. Had a huge game yesterday. He's long. He's physical. Shaq Morris is a mountain inside the middle there. He can post you up. They have to get on the glass. Martinez Gebben, Austin Torres, Bonzi Colson, they have to find a way in the interior of this game to beat Wichita State, because Wichita State is going to bring it.
As for the game you're currently watching, Carson Edwards here for the Boilermakers. We're all knotted up at 31. Coming back with more right after this. Stick with us.
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover, above and beyond.
The Season of Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
If you like your pizza loaded with cheese, then have we got a crust for you. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Cheesy Crust Pizza. 16 cheesy pockets overflowing with a 5-cheese blend of melted cheeses. Only from Pizza Hut and only for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Fred would do anything for his daughter.
Get in, Fred.
Even if it means being the back half of a unicorn. Fear not, Fred. The front half washed the shirt with Gain. And that smell puts the giddy in giddy up. Ah, the irresistible scent of Gain Flings laundry detergent. You can't help but smell happy.
Pack for any occasion with Joseph A. Bank's Black Friday doorbusters going on now. All dress shirts 3 for $99. All ties, buy one, get 2 free. And all 1905 and executive suits, just $179. The Black Friday doorbusters, only at Joseph A. Bank.
For 100 years, heritage and innovation have made Gillette the #1 shave in America. Now get Gillette quality at lower prices every day. Brought to you by 1,200 workers in Boston. We're proud of giving you our best. Gillette, the best a man can get.
So, you like it?
Little bit. Nothing gets a reaction like a gift from Kay Jewelers, where everything is 25% off. Save 25% off all rings, all necklaces, and all bracelets. That's 25% off everything. November 17th through 26th at Kay, the #1 jewelry store in America.
Dad.
Every kiss begins with K.
If you like your pizza loaded with cheese, then have we got a crust for you. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Cheesy Crust Pizza. 16 cheesy pockets overflowing with a 5-cheese blend of melted cheeses. Only from Pizza Hut and only for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover, above and beyond.
Tennessee closed on a 9-0 run, knotted up with Purdue, and Admiral Schofield getting it done, fellas.
It's the kind of play a general would make. Again.
This has been the Land Rover Halftime Report. Carl Ravish, Robbie Hummel. Second half's coming up.
Domino's? 2 large pepperoni pizzas, please.
Now you can earn Domino's Piece of the Pie rewards points when you order by phone. And when you order online, you'll get points too. Now you can even earn points when you order in store. We make it easy for you to earn free pizza. Only Domino's lets you earn any way you order.
I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, though you make my heart a wreck, make my heart a wreck, and you make my life a mess, make my life a mess, yes, a mess of happiness.
While other insurance companies just see a house, State Farm sees the home you've worked really hard for. So why not give it the protection it deserves? State Farm.
Get ready to doorbust. Rent-A-Center's pre-Black Friday doorbusters are here. Come early this Friday through Wednesday and get an LG 4K TV, Xbox One, Samsung Galaxy, and more, starting at just $19.99 a week. Only at Rent-A-Center. Big brands, small payments.
He once saved 2 birds with 1 stone, and he once drove 8 hours in a sidecar just to get to a game. He is Rob Riggle, the most interesting fan of college football. That me?
Stay thirsty, mis amigos.
For I can't help falling in love with you.
Give extra, get extra.
Dave & Buster's gives you half-price games every Wednesday. Every game is half off all day long. This game, that game, all the games, half off every Wednesday. All the fun and half-price games every Wednesday only at Dave & Buster's.
Being a location scout, my office is on my back. The less stuff I have to carry, the better. With Service Pro, I have one device that does everything. Technology has really changed how I do this job. On Pacific Rim Uprising, our characters are 250 feet tall. Where in the heck are you gonna land this big robot? Pulled up a satellite image, and there is like a giant bullseye. Robots here. I feel very proud of what I bring to the screen. I have the greatest job in the world.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like pre-shaken sodas. Switch to #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Hope you enjoy the halftime. We welcome you back to the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. Alongside Robbie Humble, the former Purdue Boilermaker, I'm Carl Ravitch. 31-31. Tennessee used 11 players, Purdue used 9. They both used runs. And for a while, it looked like Purdue was going to pull away, and then all of a sudden, Tennessee goes on a real run late.
Yeah, and it was spurred by Lamonte Turner, and he got it done on the defensive end. He got it done on the offensive end. He played hard. He did everything you want out of a player. And it's winning basketball. And you look at Tennessee, they missed the first 16 of their 18, then make 6 of 9 to finish the half, 3 of those being by Lamonte Turner. He's a guy that kept them in it, and then, you see him getting to the rim, making shots, doing a little bit of everything here for this Volunteer squad. And we knew coming in he could shoot the basketball from deep, but it's been the total package for him. He has had a great start to this game.
Last one looked like it scraped the 26-foot ceiling inside the Imperial Ballroom here. As we take a look at our first half stats, they're brought to you by Atlantis. Both teams not afraid to shoot the 3. Tennessee's offensive rebounding impressive, part of their 23-17 advantage. Turner and Edwards, the only guys in double figures. Tennessee ends on a 15-4 run. Vincent Edwards, only 1 for 6 from the field. Like to see him get going if you're a Boilermaker fan, right?
Yeah, I mean, he certainly struggled. And I think if you're Matt Painter, you want to go where your bread is buttered. You want to throw this ball into the post. And that's to Isaac Haas and Vincent. You wonder, has the roof put an impact on that? But they have settled for some shots that aren't probably what Matt Painter wants to see.
First of 4 games today. We'll see Villanova, Arizona later tonight. Northern Iowa SMU square off as well. Alexander, tough baseline shot, but another offensive rebound for Tennessee as the collision between Alexander and Thompson leads to a corner three for Tennessee.
The hustle play there by Kyle Alexander, getting Grant Williams an open look, and don't look now, but Tennessee leads by 3.
Matthias, that doesn't go. Haas had it ripped away from him. Tennessee winning the 50-50 balls.
I thought it was interesting on that first possession. You saw Tennessee go to a high-low set. Oh, that's a great cut. Just missed him. But they went high-low. You know, they're trying to establish that inside game as well.
Schofield this time drives. He can't get it to go, and it's a Purdue ball. Tennessee for the first time today with a 3-point edge. Edwards to the hole, uses his left hand. No. Apparently Haas touched that, and will go to Tennessee. For a guy that's 7'3" and is as physically imposing as Haas, the idea that Tennessee is willing to take it to him, given they have another 7-footer on the bench, you kind of read between the lines there.
Yeah, no, I think they must like their matchup there. And Isaac Haas is certainly not a guy who's going to protect the rim like they've had in the past. You know, they had A.J. Hammonds, who's now with the Miami Heat. Right. He's a guy that's going to protect the rim. I think Matt Harms is more of a guy that's going to protect the rim. Isaac's more of your traditional anchor the post center.
Tough baseline jumper, no good. Of course, Purdue without Caleb Swanigan, who was such a force for them last year.
Just a dominant season, Carl. I mean, and there, right there, that's a good post up by Isaac Haas, and he had his man on his back, sealed him there, draws the foul, but you know he's been an incredibly efficient scorer. You look at that; he led the Big Ten in points per 40 minutes in the last 2 years, and I think Matt Painter's had the luxury of having all these bigs. You talk about A.J. Hammonds, Isaac Haas, Caleb Swanigan. That's a bad pass by Dakota Matthias. Isaac Haas, not a guy that you're going to throw a lob like that to.
Good take by Jordan Bone. He can't get it to go, but another offensive rebound for Kyle Alexander.
And Kyle Alexander coming out of that halftime. He has really made a presence here, and Tennessee leads 13-4 on the offensive glass.
Haas, they're going to go the other way, and Schofield came in and made sure he didn't put it in the basket. That'll be Haas's second, and Harms coming in.
Yeah, and Matt Painter can't like what he sees from his team. Tennessee right now being the aggressor, really dominating the pace of this game. This is a good look. He does push off, but Schofield, not in my house.
No.
This play is over, but I'm not letting you see that ball go through the rim. A little KG action, Kevin Garnett.
The Admiral.
It's a great name.
It's a tremendous name. That one is stolen. Edwards stolen back by Williams. Got himself up in the air and was able to find an outlet, and the easy take by Jordan Bowden. 38-31 Tennessee. A 16-0 run as they come out of the break and continue to impose their will on the Boilermakers.
Guys, it's time to make your country bad boy country.
Bad Boy Mowers leads the zero-turn mower world with professional-grade power and performance, cut-quality perfection, and easy-ride innovations that can deliver a smooth ride all day, every day. In Bad Boy Country, we build them better in America to last a lifetime. 747 cc's, 60-inch cut, $49.99.
All-American value, made American strong. Mow with an attitude.
Spread a little love today. Spread a little love my highway. Spread a little something to
Philadelphia cream cheese, made with fresh milk and real cream, makes your recipes their holiday favorites. The holidays are made with Philly.
If you like your pizza loaded with cheese, then have we got a crust for you. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Cheesy Crust Pizza. 16 cheesy pockets overflowing with a 5-cheese blend of melted cheeses. Only from Pizza Hut and only for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
So, you like it?
Little bit.
Nothing gets a reaction like a gift from Kay Jewelers, where everything is 25% off. Save 25% off all rings, all necklaces, and all bracelets. That's 25% off everything. November 17th through 26th at Kay, the #1 jewelry store in America.
Dad.
Every kiss begins with K.
Lumber Liquidators Yellow and Black Friday flooring sales going on now. All Bellawood pre-finished hardwood is on sale. Get Wood Look waterproof flooring up to 49% off. More deals from 39 cents and special financing. Hurry, get to Lumber Liquidators Yellow and Black Friday flooring sale today.
Let out your inner child at the Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2018 NX300 for $319 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's.
Tennessee has now pushed their lead to 7, and it's really been the work of Kyle Alexander on the offensive glass. Tennessee, the more physical team to start the second half. And we see just the physicality right there. Throwing Matt Harms to the ground, Admiral Schofield with the finish. Jordan Bone getting to the rim. Nice tip in there. Tennessee coming out aggressively and setting the tone for this second half. Purdue needing to respond.
They try with the drive, and a good one. Laid up and in by Edwards. They needed that. And that breaks the big run that Tennessee had been on. See if they can turn it up a little defensively. It's Tennessee. The team you figure a little more athletic has really imposed their will on Purdue. They're just out-muscling.
No, they have to start the half. They came out. Must have been a heck of a halftime speech by Rick Barnes, because they came out fired up. And they've dominated the glass and the physical aspect of this game.
Williams short. Battle on the offensive glass. They had it, and they just lost it as Harms controls. Edwards, good defense. How about Admiral Schofield to pick it off?
We read that pass, and that's just a 100% hustle play.
Safety in the defensive backfield and an NFL field, and he looks like he could do that.
Yes, he looks like he could play linebacker.
Travel will go the other way.
Admiral Schofield gets off to a slow start in this game, but he has responded. Take a look, just making that extra effort, stopping Purdue in transition. Sloppy pass there by Carson Edwards, but it certainly was there. Schofield just making that play and warding off the Purdue fast break.
No flow to the Purdue offense.
Not at all, no. They've struggled in transition. They've struggled in the half court.
They're going to get Schofield there with a trip.
Dakota Mathias has been a guy that has knocked down shots all season. He's struggled today. Just 1 for 4 from the field. Need to get him going as well. He's definitely a weapon. He's had some good looks. He just hasn't been able to knock it down.
Second team foul on Tennessee. Only the first foul on Admiral Schofield today. Trying to get it low to Harms. He's got it down there, and he lost it on the way up.
That's a good pass by Dakota Mathias, but Harms has to know as a big, you have to chin that basketball and keep it high. Those guards are coming. They're coming to strip that. He'll learn that. He's just a freshman, but good action for Purdue, just poor execution.
John Fulkerson, well, you get the sense they really want to stay healthy, first of all, but they love the production that number 10 will bring. Production Purdue is bringing, not great so far, trailing by 5 at the battle for Atlantis.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart, and Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter.
There's only one island in the Caribbean called Paradise. Paradise Island in the Bahamas. Known for its beautiful white sand beaches, warm turquoise blue water, and incredible resort options. Enjoy a Vegas-style casino, thrilling nightlife, and endless water adventures. Discover amazing vacation options at GoParadiseIsland.com.
Better in the Bahamas.
just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep. We match all the cashback new card members earn at the end of their first year automatically.
Whoa, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
What we're going to have you do is each have a bite of 2 different burgers. One is flame grilled, the other one is fried on the flat top.
Definitely flame grilled.
Yeah. So much better.
What you're saying is that we should destroy this flat top.
Flat top is my enemy.
Get 2 flame grilled Whopper sandwiches for just $6, only at Burger King.
Hi.
Well, honey, I said sweet potatoes.
Yes, you did. I forgot the shrimp. Shrimp and apple pie.
Dad likes pecan.
Oh, well, in that case, I can.
Love to drive? Visit your Infiniti retailer for leases starting at $289 a month during the Start Your Own Legacy winter sales event. Infiniti, empower the drive.
The Zales Black Friday sale is happening right now. Stop in and save 30 to 50% off everything. Plus, save on our amazing Black Friday specials, like this 1-carat diamond ring. 'Tis the season for diamonds at Zales, the diamond store.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to go to the Pacific Northwest. Remind everybody, you got the PK 80 tournament set to start with 23 combined national championships. 89 combined Final Fours by the 16 teams that are out there. And this, of course, all to celebrate the 80th birthday of Phil Knight. Bunch of top 10 freshmen in 2017. ESPN 100 will be on display as well. And a terrific field. We're looking forward to seeing that PK 80 start tomorrow.
What a cool event. I mean, just celebrating a guy that
really cool.
He changed sports, and he changed the way sports are marketed, too. I think it's really cool that we're able to celebrate him and get a really good college basketball field out of it.
Harms came over to block a shot, but then the quick 3 is missed. You're right about that. The impact of Nike and Knight that he had on the game, and now you see other shoe companies and whatnot getting involved. But the idea that so many of these schools are going to be in one place for what really amounts to 2 different tournaments.
Right.
There's 2 8-team brackets. There's no eventual champion overall, but 1 from each of the 8 teams in each bracket. Duke and Carolina both playing, but they're in separate brackets.
Sure. And in a great venue, too. The Moda Center is big time. Well, that's for an NBA game, college basketball game. They support their teams in Portland, and it's a big basketball city.
That all starts tomorrow. Purdue has cranked it up a little bit on defense. Now they're going to try to turn it into some offense and cut into this Tennessee lead. In and out for Edwards. And once again, the boards dominated by Tennessee. Second half, Purdue 1 of 6 from the floor. Nobody on Purdue is shooting particularly well.
No, they've been unable to get anything going in a rhythm. Finally, a good block out there by Vincent Edwards. Admiral Schofield just imposing his will on the glass. But if you're Purdue, you got to hang tough. You know, you've gotten some good looks. That last one by Vincent Edwards is in and out. You're okay with him getting that quality of a shot. Yeah. He's going to knock more of those down than he's going to miss.
Schofield gets a blow. So does Fulkerson. He goes out. I think there are probably some people at home wondering if they're getting that dominated on the boards, especially on the offensive glass. Do you ever consider playing the 2 7-footers at the same time?
It's certainly a thought. You know, I think they haven't experimented with that a whole lot.
Good steal here, by the way, and a missed layup. There's another offensive glass.
Just a great effort. I mean, Lamonte Turner, where does he come from? Flies in there. And he has been just the difference in this game. He kept Tennessee in it in the first half.
He did. He and James Daniel managed to help with that one. That wall goes in and out, and we may have an injured Tennessee Volunteer.
Derek Walker.
Yeah.
And there's been a lid on the basket here for Purdue. Yeah. That's another good look for Vincent Edwards. That time in transition. Just rims out, will not fall. But another good look.
Yeah, they're going to get a hold underneath the basket on Daniel. So the idea of playing him, I get they haven't done it, but you're getting hammered on the boards.
No, you are. I mean, Tennessee has really gotten it done on the glass on the offensive and defensive end. Great
wide
action.
Open. Love to see one fall, and finally it does. They set it up. Matthias found Vincent Edwards for an open 3.
But such a smart play by Dakota Matthias. When you have that pick and roll action, that big rolls to the rim, look opposite side. Vincent Edwards raises, and he finds him for the open 3. And you have to wonder, does that get Vincent Edwards going? Take another look. Dakota Mathias comes off, the handoff. Look at the way Isaac Haas sucks in that defender. And that's the kind of thing that Matt Painter wants to see. That's good action. That's good offense. That's not a contested three. Exactly what Matt Painter wants.
Last foul is on Nogel Eastern. You can see Purdue has definitely turned up the intensity on the defensive end. That's a tough shot off the back of the iron. And we're going to keep it here. We're going to get a foul called, what appears to be on Haas. Clearing some space for himself. And if so, that's the third foul on big Isaac Haas. Haas gets into it this time. He hits the ground, and they're going to go the other way with it. He got into a pretty good tussle with Derek Walker.
They called a foul there on Grant Williams. A little surprising. It's been a really physical game. I think both those plays could have been no calls.
Yeah.
You know, I think both of them. That's a physical rebound by Grant Williams, just as that was a physical rebound by Isaac Haas. But I guess if you're calling one, you want the refs to be consistent, and they were right there.
A steal underneath from Bone. The layup is no good.
You have to wonder, Carl, is that going to be a bucket that comes back to haunt this Volunteer team?
That one is called on Walker, and it may very well be one we'll keep our eye on. Circle that at 40-36, a chance for a 2-point game when it could have been a 6-point advantage.
Just a deflating miss. You do a great job in your press, force Purdue into a bad pass, and you have the ball at the rim and just unable to convert. Then Carson Edwards goes their way. It always happens. Missed layups lead to open threes and runouts, and we saw it right there. It's just a deflating play. We will see if it does impact this game.
Carson Edwards has 13 now, and Tennessee already has 6 fouls in this half. So we're likely to see a whole bunch more free throws than we saw in the first half.
And that would certainly favor a free throw shooting team like Purdue. All these guys, it's hard to find somebody to foul. Everyone in the starting lineup, even Isaac Haas shooting 78.3% from the free throw line. And this Purdue crowd trying to will its team into this game. They find themselves just down 2.
Tough shot with Harms on him. Walker couldn't get it to go, and a chance for the lead or a tie.
Harms did a good job there, just staying straight up.
Edwards in and out, and boy, he's got to feel like there's something wrong with the rim.
That's his third shot that looked like it was going down and just didn't fall.
Harms on Grant Williams. That's a matchup to watch down low.
And Williams just hasn't been able to get it going either. He's 1 for 6 from the field. A guy coming in that's had a really good start to this season. What a finish.
Terrific work, and it's been the story of this game. The offensive rebounding by Tennessee. Walker lays that in. 15th offensive rebound for the Vols.
Rick Barnes talked about him. He said he had a great summer. That concussion really kind of derailed him. That's a great extra pass.
Mathias buries it.
Turned down a good shot for a better shot, and that is exactly what Carson Edwards did right there. Dakota Mathias knocks down the 3, but that play was made by Carson Edwards.
Under 12 to go in the second half. First of 4 games here at the Battle for Atlantis, and we're going to have a turnover on Tennessee. Steps are called. What a start! 42-41 as the Battle for Atlantis is now underway, and we are all engaged.
It's a wide open, full-throttle bad boy country out there, where we deliver more mowers for every part of it, packing the power and speed that blurs the line between work and play, where true value is measured over time and time again. Classic, American, muscle. Make your country bad boy country.
Mow with an attitude.
This is the inaugural PK80. An exciting exciting new tournament featuring 16 top-tier teams.
We'll have all kinds of stars
to celebrate a legend.
The most important man in the history of all sports. Spectacular slam. That is big time.
The PK80 presented by State Farm tips Thanksgiving Day at 2:30 on ESPN.
A dazzling place I never knew. A new, fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. Let me share this whole new world with you.
Back in this game, down one, and let's take a look at this Boilermaker possession. Grant Williams puts his defense at a disadvantage going for that head fake, but Carson Edwards makes the play, finding his shooter. Little extra pass, swing action, and we will see if that gets Dakota Mathias going. But you have to feel, Carl, this game energy-wise has it's stepped up, and I think you could feel it in this gym. Both teams, we're getting into that winning time area on this clock, and I think both teams, it's going to be a great finish. But Purdue's offense finally getting going.
That Tennessee pressure has been a story too. They wanted to do that this season, and we're certainly seeing it here. Bryant into the game, one of the better shooters for Purdue, even though he has not yet gotten off, and a tough fadeaway, tough shot for Vincent Edwards.
Schofield has given him issues down low, and I think that's why you haven't seen him post as much, just because Schofield is such a presence and such a specimen down there. Has not allowed Vincent Edwards to go to his post game, which is a part of his repertoire.
There's a block by Harms. He has it, lost it, ball loose. And it's Purdue with a run out. See if Thompson drives the hole, and he does. And he gets it to go, and Purdue back on top.
P.J. Thompson, his coaches have encouraged him this season to be opportunistic in transition, and that's exactly what he was there. Gets to the rim, squares his shoulders. Great play there by P.J. Thompson.
Harm's presence in that paint, too, has been a story.
He's changed the game, no question. I think just as a rim protector, Tennessee has felt more uncomfortable getting to that rim. And that's what he brings. That's a nice little poke away.
It was by Mathias. He's blocked from behind, and they're going to call a foul. Looked like it was clean, but they're going to get the foul on Lamonte Turner.
Well, a nice little touch pass there by P.J. Thompson. Hits a streaking Dakota Mathias like a quarterback. And I don't know if that was a foul. I think there was a lot of more right there.
I mean, you're an offensive player, so usually you would defer to, yeah, that was a foul.
You don't think I'm a good defender?
When you sit in some of the Purdue staff who knew you said, if Robbie Hummel talks about defense, stop the conversation.
Yeah, they're probably right. I think if you ask the guys that I played for over the last 10 years, they'd say he's more of an offensive guy.
You follow baseball. If you ever sit next to a pitcher, it's always a strike. If you sit next to a hitter, it's always a ball.
Yeah. That's two misses for Dakota Mathias. Uncharacteristic for him from the line.
Harms may think that one is on him, and that's why he was all fired up. I think they eventually called it on Vince Edwards, but Harms was...
He's an emotional guy right there, Carl. You know what, though? I'd rather you be emotional than you be a dud. I think he loves to play. He brings a lot of passion and energy to the game. And that's what makes college basketball great. The environments, the passion, the energy. He's going to be a good one for Purdue.
He grew up in the Netherlands, and he grew up at a time when you and the rest of your team were on TV all the time. So he actually watched a lot of Purdue basketball.
Yeah, and Matt Painter said he was incredibly knowledgeable about our program.
That's one of the reasons he ends up at Purdue. Tough drive. Arms block that one, but they may get a call on the big fella, and they do.
He's got to be careful. Like we said, he's emotional, but he doesn't want to show the ref up like that. He thought he had a clean block.
Arms is your general sort of European finesse player when he was in high school. So his coach ultimately said, look, I get that you watch Purdue on TV a lot. You want to go play there, though, you're going to have to change your style. So he slept on it for a night, came back and said, all right, I'm all in.
Flip the switch, yeah.
I'm
it's
good.
unbelievable, right? And they said after that day, they never had a problem with him being soft like he was again. You know, I mean, what an incredible transformation. And I think he's been a guy, though, that he can impact this Purdue program.
Villanova, they're in the house. They will take on Western Kentucky. And we'll see, Western Kentucky is down a few players. They have about 8 players dressed, 7 scholarship players, and Villanova is as good and deep as anybody in the country.
Yeah, that's a tough situation there for Rick Stansbury's team. They're going up against a team like Villanova, experienced and also really good.
Kick by Tal will join me for that one as Matthias squares up, in and out.
They've had some good looks, Carl. Yep, they really have, and that's a great play by P.J. Thompson.
No foul called. He misses the layup.
That's when he's got to finish. James Daniel contested, but you know he wants to have that one back.
Crowd wanted some steps, but that was not going to get called as Darrington worked a 2-man game with Schofield for a while. Now he launches a 3 that's off the left side of the rim. Matthias gives it to Klein.
Good pass.
Underneath,
Great pass.
Here's Haas. And he got fouled at the rim by Kyle Alexander. A little out of control, but the passes all worked.
So a little touch pass, some volleyball action there, and rewarding their big man for running the floor. A little sloppy there on both teams' ends. But Purdue finds itself shooting 2 at the line.
Third foul on Kyle Alexander. The 2 7-footers for Purdue, each with 3 fouls as Haas makes the first. Matthias goes to the bench. Eifert comes into the game. Jordan Bowden goes to the bench for Tennessee. Good form on the free throws from Isaac Haas. 9 minutes to go, 2-point ball game. Purdue on top. Daniel, he got held.
Certainly an interesting transformation for him. I mean, he is the leader in points in Division I college basketball right now. And he hasn't been a scorer for Tennessee. I think Rick Barnes has tried to encourage him. You know, this is different. We have other guys that can score the basketball. We need you to defend. We need you to facilitate. And they got it. That's a great out-of-bounds play. I mean, that's Purdue falling asleep, but that's a great screen there by Tennessee. But James Daniel's a guy, you know, he has scored the ball.
Yeah,
and he's done it for 4 years.
He was a Division I leading scorer in the nation when he played at Howard, averaging 27 a game. So he's had to, as you say, change his style. This is an easy one here. He got hacked. They're going to call that on the floor. A good interior pass to Haas, who's starting to exert himself a little bit down low. Alexander picks up his 4th.
The inbounds play. Nice little back screen, and Purdue just falls asleep. That's a simple back screen. That's an easy switch. And Purdue does not communicate. And Grant Williams finds himself at the rim. Communication's so big in college basketball.
Sure.
Any level. I mean, just you find guys that talk, and you can talk through a lot of things. I was fortunate enough to play with Kevin Garnett for a couple months, and he's a guy that can shut down the whole side of the defense just by communicating. And it's not a hard thing to do, but you'd be surprised at how many players struggle with it.
Haas had the second go in and out. There's a loose ball scrum. Haas has another chance. No foul called. And Tennessee comes up with it.
Tennessee staying with it.
Yeah, seemed to be a lot of contact on that play.
They like this matchup.
off the left hand of Haas. Good call. We'll take a timeout. We're under 8 with the battle for Atlantis. Purdue by 1 over Tennessee.
It's a small finger, a worm.
Like a dagger?
Tiny sword.
Breadstick.
Matchstick.
A lamppost.
Coin slot. No.
10 seconds.
A stick, a walking stick.
Yeah,
A boundary. Mount Kilimanjaro. Big
Sorry. It's a tandem bicycle.
What?
As long as sloths are slow, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, and here. More memories, more off the grid, more zen, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass, plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Domino's? 2 large pepperoni pizzas, please.
Only Domino's lets you earn Piece of the Pie rewards points when you order by phone, online, or when you order in store. We make it easy for you to earn free pizza any way you order.
Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. Ever Us. 1 diamond for your best friend, 1 for your true love. For the one woman who's both. Ever Us. Available at Kay, Jared, and Zales.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. Classic American muscle, mow with an attitude. And Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart.
Purdue finds itself leading by 1, and Tennessee has upped the ante on the interior defensively, doing a good job. But we take a look. Isaac Haas catches the ball at the rim, and this is a play that he has to make. You know, at 7'2", with his body, with his strength, this is a play where he can catch the ball, but he's got to go up strong. He's a little off balance, and Tennessee's got the length to contest his shot. But that's one that Purdue needs. They have to score that basketball right there. Credit Tennessee for sticking with it, but I think he'd like to have that one back.
Neither team shooting particularly well second half. Purdue is 4 of 15, and Tennessee is 6 of 21. Credit the defense a little bit, but there have been some open shots that have been missed. Each team in this tight game, 9 assists and 12 turnovers.
And I think it would be fair to say, Carl, that whoever wins that assist-to-turnover ratio battle, you know, whoever cannot turn the ball over and find their teammates is going to have the upper hand in this game.
How about that hustle play by Matthias? It leads to a breakout.
I think he traveled.
Yep.
Yeah.
Edwards traveled. I thought on that play you showed with Haas, he may have gotten away with shuffling his feet.
He certainly took some steps.
First of 4 games here, the battle for Atlantis. We will crown a champion on Friday afternoon. That step's there too, that extra step, and that is certainly something that the officials keeping an eye on this season. 14 now turnovers for the Vols.
And that's a matchup that Rick Barnes has gone to multiple times tonight, and it just hasn't really materialized into anything. He's turned the ball over twice now. He's a guy that can drive Isaac Haas. He's got that skill set, but a little uncharacteristically sloppy.
Haas one-on-one has a huge height advantage, spins, gets caught, nearly lost it. Matthias there behind the back, and that was a mistake. Right into the hands of Admiral Schofield.
And just on that possession, Isaac Haas caught the ball too far off the block. And Matt Painter, you know, you have to throw your big man the ball, but if he's not going to post up deep, it's one of those deals where Grant Williams is strong enough to defend him.
3 from the corner. That one goes for Grant Williams. He's got 8 in the second half. And Tennessee up by 2. Klein's gotten a lot of play, and the turnover there. He hasn't made many shots at all, and the blow-by. That one deflected off the Klein. It'll stay with Tennessee. You've talked about how he's one of the better shooters out of Carmel, Indiana, the junior.
Yeah, and he just hasn't really gotten many looks today.
Nope.
But for the season, he struggled. And he may be the best shooter on this Purdue basketball team.
He comes out now. Harms and Vincent Edwards back in the game. What a luxury to have 2 7-footers that you can rotate in and out.
No doubt. And 2 teams here in this tournament can do that.
Yeah.
Arizona starts it.
Only 7 teams in the country that can lay claim to having 2 7-footers. And you said later tonight we'll see DeAndre Ayton, Dusan Rustic.
Ristic's a guy that just doesn't get the credit he deserves because he's a good player too.
Isn't he like Tyler Davis on A&M?
Yeah,
because Williams is on the team, you forget about Tyler Davis.
Yeah, and
that's a lottery pick.
No question. I think with Arizona too, you have Alonzo Trier averaging 30. You have Raleigh Alkins injured, so you've got a lot of guys on that team, and Ristic certainly does fall through the cracks. But a guy that has been a really good player for a couple years now and gets it done for the Wildcats.
Tennessee pushes their lead to 3 with the 2 free throws. Purdue's last field goal came at the 11-minute mark, and we're at the 6:30 mark right now. They swing it to the corner. They get an open 3. Instead, it's Vince Edwards, and he can't get it to go. Thompson was hiding in this left corner with his arms up, but nobody saw him.
Both guys open there, and it's just not been Vincent Edwards' day. He has had some good looks. And I think we've seen Tennessee with a concerted effort to get Grant Williams the ball. He's got 10 of Tennessee's 20 second half points. And Tennessee's going right now, Carl.
Admiral Schofield got that one to go. A 7-0 run.
Big possession for Purdue. They've got to get something going to the rim here.
Feels that way as we're under 6 minutes to go in the second half. Matthias tried a ball fake, and now he launches in and out. Finally, an offensive rebound. Vincent Edwards, and it's 53-49.
And he's done a better job this season getting involved on the offensive glass.
Nearly a turnover. Darrington, Schofield, no. Over the back they're going to call. That was an athletic play by Admiral Schofield, but access was denied. And the foul on Tennessee, so we'll come down the other end.
Tennessee's got athletes. I mean, there is no question. He comes in flying in there. And that's one that I'd rather see them let that go. That's not, if he crashes into him and knocks somebody out of the way, I'm with that. But right there, no one blocks him out. And when you don't block out, you shouldn't be rewarded for bad basketball. And that's really what just happened there. And it's a foul 94 feet from the basket.
Felt like a 50-50 ball, but Schofield gets the foul. Edwards to the free throw line, and one that actually doesn't come out.
He used the whole rim there. He's had a couple of those today.
Alexander back in. He's been a force on the glass. Schofield goes to the bench. No good, but a big break as it goes off the hand of the Tennessee player. Grant Williams couldn't control it, so Purdue will have a chance now to cut into that lead, if not tie it. And they'll switch Haas and Harms.
Harms might be a little shaken up there, limping back to the bench.
Matthias. Nope. Loose ball. Tennessee's got a 3-on-1. Good defense. How about Matthias to knock that away? What looked like it would have been an easy 2 for Tennessee.
Dakota Matthias not quitting on the play. Long rebound, run out for Tennessee. It's great hands there by Matthias. Tough shot.
Short, and another foul on Tennessee.
Tennessee doing itself a disservice here. That's their second foul, 94 feet from the basket.
Which brings you 15 feet from the basket with free throws.
And with a Purdue team that's struggling to score, that's not what you're giving them points here.
Boilermakers 11 of 15 from the free throw line. They are 1 of 7 from the field here in the second half.
It's been an offensive struggle for both these teams. And you just never felt like either team really got in a rhythm. You know, and we talked about the low ceiling, and it's a different environment. You're down in the Bahamas. But both teams coming in, you know, Purdue is fifth in the nation in field goal percentage, 8th in three-point shooting. Tennessee comes in 12th in three-point shooting. They've made shots all season. It hasn't been that day for either team today. They're taking a look to see who's shooting?
Yeah, they're taking a look to see who's shooting. And it looks like Barnes wants to get one of his players out and get Schofield back into the game along with Jordan Bone. Team, and then you get a game like this against Tennessee, and maybe the 18 feels accurate. Maybe Tennessee is perhaps a little more.
I think Tennessee has shown today that they're certainly better than maybe people thought.
Yeah.
And they've played 2 games that aren't against the best of competition, but they handled both squads. And they've come out here today and they've competed. You know, I think that's what Rick Barnes has wanted to see. He's wanted to kind of ingrain that culture of, we're not going to get pushed around in the SEC anymore. We're going to be a team that imposes our will. And he has the athletes to do it at this point. I mean, you look at their team, they look the part.
No doubt.
They walk through the airport and you know they're a college basketball team. 15
points for Carson Edwards. The other thing that Purdue did this summer, they played in a World University games, which gave them a huge advantage. They're basically like a month and a half ahead of where every other team would be given the 8 games they played. They lost in the championship to Lithuania. They practiced a ton.
Sure, and I think they got to play against 3 or 4 or even maybe 5 teams that are NCAA tournament quality teams in that tournament. Got to practice all summer. It's a great drive. That is a great drive by Grant Williams, and he just takes advantage of the 7'3" center. He's got the mismatch, catches the ball on the trail, and just whips him off the dribble. Finishes at the rim.
He's got 12 in the second half. Harms back in, sets the high screen. And now he's going to shoot. And that one is no good. Rebound, Edwards. Good ball fake, and he got hit underneath. And another fouled on Schofield.
Well, he's asserted himself, especially in the second half on the offensive glass, and he's probably been the best offense they've had. He's got 13 rebounds, and that's been really their whole offense. The free throw line keeping Purdue afloat in this second half because jump shots just have not been falling. And credit Tennessee. They've contested a lot of shots. They've played hard. They've done a good job.
Admiral Schofield's got 4 fouls on him, and perhaps we'll see Derek Walker come in and take out Schofield. And that's what we're going to see here with 4:39 left to go in the second half.
And we're going to see Isaac Haas come back in too. Certainly the size advantage over Derek Walker. By no means is he small, but everybody's small next to Isaac Haas.
Edwards gets it to go, a 1-point ball game. Pressure applied in the backcourt from Edwards on Jordan Bone.
Lamonte Turner's been a little quiet. We haven't called his name in a while.
Yes, it rattles in for Bone. And a sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee, gives him a 4-point lead. So Lamonte Turner turned it on to end the first half. A little quiet here in the second. Haas down low, went for the big dunk, and he got blocked by Walker from behind. Two-hand flush would have been a little more effective.
That's a great post-up, first of all. I mean, he did his work early. He sealed him, physically dominated Derek Walker, but that's a two-hand dunk right there. That's got to be one where you get an and one. And he cocks it back. Tonight's post-up, but at this point in the game, really at any part in the game, you got to finish that.
But boy, it would have looked good.
It would have looked cool, no doubt.
Rattles in the first one. He's done a nice job from the free throw line. And he gets that one to go as well. So Purdue
And it'll be interesting to see. He's got a matchup, I think, that Matt Painter likes. And I think they feel like they can post Derek Walker and get him going to the rim. We'll see if that's how they choose to finish this game.
They're within 2, 5 and 6 from the free throw line is Haas as he comes way out to guard Bone, who fades away from the free throw line. No good. And here's Purdue now with a chance to tie or go ahead. Edwards wants it. And he took steps. That little bonus step gets you every time. 58-56 on their 16th turnover.
Guys, it's time to make your country bad boy country.
Bad Boy Mowers leads the zero-turn mower world with professional-grade power and performance, cut-quality perfection, and easy-ride innovations that can deliver a smooth ride all day, every day. In Bad Boy Country, we build them better in America to last a lifetime. 747 cc's, 60-inch cut, $49.99.
All American value, made American strong. Mow with an attitude.
If you like your pizza loaded with cheese, then have we got a crust for you. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Cheesy Crust Pizza. 16 cheesy pockets overflowing with a 5-cheese blend of melted cheeses. Only from Pizza Hut and only for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Progress is an unstoppable force. The Season of Audi sales event is here. Audi will cover your first month's lease payment on select models during the Season of Audi sales event.
If you like your pizza loaded with cheese, then have we got a crust for you. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Cheesy Crust Pizza. 16 cheesy pockets overflowing with a 5-cheese blend of melted cheeses. Only from Pizza Hut and only for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Now I'm out here looking like revenge, feeling like a 10, the best I ever been. And yeah, I know how bad it must hurt to see me like this, but it gets worse.
I want to remind everybody, as we are here on Paradise Island, the guys and girls from First Take will be on Thanksgiving morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. All the NFL games, 3 of them. They'll preview the college football weekend rivalry games and some Turkey Day surprises, as you would expect from those guys. Max, Stephen A. First Take streams live on the ESPN app. Back with Robbie Hummel, Carl Ravitch. Good game here. Tennessee by 2 over Purdue. It hasn't been a pretty game, but it's a close one. Second half, think about Purdue. They have made 5 of 20 from the floor. They have also made 13 free throws, so they've scored most of their points from the stripe to keep this game tight.
Down the stretch, I expect to see a healthy dosage of Grant Williams. Pretty good defense there by Purdue. Forced them into rotation, but able to recover.
10 on the shot clock as Bones settles things down. Rebound, it's grabbed by Harms, who's in the game as Haas sits.
Pretty good shot there for Tennessee.
Yeah.
Just didn't knock it down. I think if you're Purdue, you're going to Vincent Edwards.
Schofield with 4 fouls. Buried the 3 and a big shot there from Carson Edwards.
Well, Vincent Edwards gets into that paint and sucks that volunteer defense with him. And Carson Edwards just steps into that 3. A fearless player. He has no fear.
They lead by 1. Harms one-on-one. Nope, he brought his arm down.
Yeah.
He looks like he's banged up again. This time his left hip as he's on the ground. And in some pain.
Yeah, Grant Williams just physically lowered his shoulder. You gotta hope that Matt Harms is okay.
Third time that he's hit that floor hard.
Yeah, he's gotten physically punished tonight.
Yeah.
You look at his eye, you look at
And he's actually a lot bigger than he was when he got to Purdue.
Yeah, he's gained 25 pounds, and he's going to learn here. There is no need to swipe down. I'm 7'3".
Yeah.
You know, I have position. I'm going against an undersized 4-man. And for whatever reason, he thought he needed to block his shot there. And really, and as a big guy, all the time, you just need to get big. Now, you're 7'3", you've got this wingspan. Put your arms up.
One looks like a man, the other one looks like a man that's growing.
Yeah, and Purdue's strength and conditioning program is going to get him to that point. But he just needs to go straight up. He's got that size advantage. There is no need to swipe down at that basketball.
He's got a black eye, and now he's got a bruised left hip. And the free throw from Williams is good to tie this one up at 59.
Alexander subbing back in to counter this Boilermaker size.
Williams strokes it. Tennessee by 1 as you keep looking at Harms, who's trying to keep that hip loose.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Good defense, but Edwards controls it. Matthias, Haas down low. Where's he going with it? He lost it, but they're going to get a foul on Williams. And he says, I was looking at Thompson out here, open for a 3.
That was a good catch by him. I mean, he posted strong, and he went and got that basketball. Tennessee swarming defense, as they have been all day. But a strong move there by Isaac Haas, and he certainly got fouled.
Keep that ball above your head.
Yeah, keep it up there. Don't let those guards come in and take that from you.
Very good so far from the line. 5 of 6, now 6 of 7 from the.
And we've seen today Isaac Haas have some issues of just bringing the basketball down. He's a guy at 7'2". There is no need for that. He keep it high, keep it away from those guards. Had a bit of a tough day, but knocks him down there.
It also looks like they're basically subbing in Harms to play defense and Haas to play offense.
It's an offense for defense, you know, substitution there. And Isaac has done a good job on the offensive end in terms of kind of just posting strong. And we saw him, you know, he's had some issues, but I think on the offensive end, he's been better than Matt Harms.
Yes. And he's made free throws.
And he's made some free throws when he's gotten fouled, yes.
Harms has 4. Harms has 4. Way that Matt Painter is using his 2 7-footers. Not sure how Harms is going to sleep tonight. But if they get a win, it'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that size, ultimately, I mean, this was, at the beginning, the size and strength of Purdue against the athleticism of Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's too close, obviously, to think that it's going to tip in the scales.
Right.
But you see what Purdue's trying to do.
No, I think so.
Tennessee.
And I think for Purdue, we're going to see a heavy dose of Vince Edwards. I think you've seen him. Even with Schofield, he has posted up, and he's felt like he's had an advantage there. We saw him get into the paint, drive the basketball, find Carson Edwards. If you're Tennessee, I think Grant Williams is that guy. You know, if he's going to have a Matt Harms or an Isaac Haas guarding him, that's a guy that you feel like you have an advantage. And it hasn't been great for them today going to that. But I think going into the final minutes, he was a guy last year that for this Tennessee team scored a lot of points. And when they lost Robert Hubbs, he was that guy.
Yeah. Tough inbounds play on the baseline.
Yeah,
Schofield
it's going to be a tough little
bounds.
location there for them to inbound this basketball.
But Williams also set a Tennessee record for blocks by a freshman last year with 61. They got a lot of shooters on the floor now as well. All right, so we got 1:42 to play in this one. Double-double for Vince Edwards.
He's been a man on the glass. Maybe not made all the shots today.
Matthias and Haas working a 2-man game.
He's injured.
Yeah, Schofield is doubled over. Shot is up. And Schofield is looking at Rick Barnes, and they're going to call a whistle here. It looked like he jammed his shoulder or something, or the elbow.
If you're Purdue, that's not a good shot. You've got a man that can't defend. You're 5-on-4, and you take a contested pull-up. Got to find that open man.
Let's hope this isn't serious, because Admiral Schofield is an important part of this Tennessee team.
He just kind of gets jammed up there by Isaac Haas. And it is, he's grabbing that shoulder. That's tough. Big possession here for Tennessee.
Harms back in the game on the defensive end for Purdue. And now it's Edwards on Williams. Harms on Alexander. High screen, long three, in and out. Rebound Matthias. And Purdue under a minute now with a 1-point lead in the ball.
Well, Lamonte Turner got a good look. Just rims out, a little pick and roll action. He's made those all day. And Tennessee, they've really been stifled on this offensive glass. They haven't been able to get the second chance opportunities. That's a big time screen.
In and out. And a rebound for Tennessee. Edwards had the shot they wanted, and they couldn't get it to go. So we'll cross the timeline and call a timeout. Schofield continues to have his shoulder worked on just outside the bench area for Tennessee, and you can see the pain that he's in, and that's a big fella, and that's some serious pain. He ran into Isaac Haas.
Two huge bodies colliding. I mean, you think about that. That's a lot of force right there.
All right, you got 30 seconds left. You got 24 on the shot clock, and we just saw a good shot for Lamonte Turner go in and out. You want to go inside, try to get foul on Harms, get him out of the game?
I mean, to me, I think it's got to be Grant Williams. He's been the guy for them in the second half here, and he's really carried them. So I think you're going to see them. He'll have a matchup that I feel like Tennessee thinks is favorable, whether that's with Matt Harms guarding him or Vincent Edwards. He's been their guy in the second half. I'd like to see an ISO, whether that's on the perimeter if it's Harms or in the post if it's Edwards.
Bowden will inbounds the ball. He hasn't taken a lot of shots, but he is a good shooter for them, and had been particularly hot coming into this game. Last Tennessee field goal came with the 4:23 mark. They're 0 for their last 5. They go right to Williams. Tough shot. Can't get it to go. Matthias has come up big on the glass. And a foul in the backcourt. Boy, the in and outs for both teams have been a story today.
But you know what? That's a great play by Tennessee, and they don't get anything out of it, but they went to Grant Williams in the mid-post, and we talked about this coming out of the timeout. He's got that size advantage. Vincent Edwards does a good job not fouling, but, man, he's got the ball at the rim, and it's just, we've seen it for both teams here in the second half. Almost like there's a lid on that rim. It just rolls off. Purdue going to try to make this a 3-point game at the free throw line.
Matthias has 6 rebounds. Edwards' first free throw. Iron kind.
Yes, sir.
20 points now for Carson Edwards to go with the 5 rebounds. Three-point game.
Tennessee does not need a 3 here. You can get something going to the rim. Plenty of time left in this game, but they got to do it quickly. Now you got to get a 3.
Lamonte Turner has Edwards on him. He launches. It's good, and we're tied with 5 seconds to go. Timeout, Purdue.
And he's been that guy that's really kept them afloat from the perimeter. Just comes off that screen, and Purdue a little back. You lead by 3. You have to be up on him. But no fear from Lamonte Turner. Tennessee. Nice little action, dribble handoff, comes back off the screen, and they just kind of fall asleep on the switch. Make him shoot a 2 at that point.
Good job by Grant Williams. Watch him eliminate Thompson, then he eliminates Edwards.
No, and that's just a smart play. It's a legal, good play there by Grant Williams. Schofield there. His shoulder looks a little tight.
That's not a good sign.
No, it's not.
Admiral Schofield ran into Isaac Haas, grabbed that left shoulder. They've been trying to elevate it, and obviously he's still dealing with a whole heck of a lot of pain if this game goes to overtime. Not having Schofield on the floor, especially on the glass and defensively, could very well be a story. But we're tied after that huge 3 from Lamonte Turner.
Well, the good news for Purdue is you have a guy like Carson Edwards who, in this full court situation, you can get him ahead of steam, and he can either get to the rim or get to his pull-up game. I think if you're Matt Painter, you feel really confident and really comfortable getting him the basketball and saying, Carson, go make a play for us, go win this game.
Who knows where these teams are in March, but the idea that you could make the case this is as competitive a field for a November tournament may have evidence here with Tennessee playing
I like this
so
Tennessee team. You know, they've competed, they've been athletic, they've really played at a high level.
And here's Edwards with 4, 3, 2, launches. No, front of the iron, it was right on line.
It did look good.
But we'll go to overtime. Right on line that shot was for Carson Edwards.
You know what? That's exactly the shot that Matt Painter wanted. That is what he does.
How about Lamonte Turner? How about the bench scoring for Tennessee, which has been so one-sided today, and Lamonte Turner has been a big part of it.
No, he certainly has, and he's done a great job here for this Volunteer team. And we see Carson Edwards just short. And we saw it. It was right on line, unable to knock it down. It's a 5-minute basketball game now, Carl.
No doubt. Robbie Turner's got 17 points off the bench. They've outscored him 23-4 off the bench as well. And now you do wonder about the Schofield injury and the impact that'll have on the overtime period. Fouls, you got Harms, who's got 4, and there are 3 with 4 for Tennessee.
Yeah, no, I think both teams have some issues there, whether it's foul trouble or injuries, but you know, Rick Barnes talked about this. He likes his depth, so they have guys that he's comfortable putting in this game that he trusts.
That's a good sign. Looked like Schofield looked at one of the
huddle,
coaches and said, "Yep, I'm good."
Yeah, maybe just a stinger. Those are painful. You see it in the NFL a lot. Those guys get jammed in the shoulder, hurts for a little bit, and you're right back there.
So what a start to the battle for Atlantis, and this is the first of 4 games. Lost the power here temporarily, but now we're back up. So, yeah, Villanova coming up against Western Kentucky, and Jay Wright's team could be poised for another championship run. Arizona, the number 2 team in the country, with Alonzo Trier, who's averaging 30 a game. They also sit there and have DeAndre Ayton. They don't have Raleigh Alkins, although he's here, and he's starting to look like he could be back in December.
At practice yesterday, he was moving around, doing some things with the team. Certainly a great sign if you're a Wildcat fan. You have to wonder, as we tip off this overtime, does Purdue's experience come into play here? You look at the guys that are on the court for this Tennessee team, a lot of them sophomores. You see Purdue, a lot of them seniors. We'll see if that makes any difference here as we tip off overtime.
Williams, Alexander, Schofield all have 4 fouls for Tennessee.
They like this matchup here in the post.
Williams got his man up in the air. Haas meet him at the rim. Good offensive rebound, and it goes for Williams. Haas did a good job.
Yes, he did. He was straight up, but Grant Williams sticking with it. He puts his Tennessee Volunteer team up too.
16 now for Williams. Matthias, tough 3. Got it to go. He was drifting to his left and still made it.
That's a big-time play call by Matt Painter right there. I mean, that is a set play. Drives the baseline, screen for Matthias, and they got him coming back off the screen.
Good hands, Matthias, and he's got a breakout. Bowden's there, and he doesn't get a foul call, but Matthias now with 5 quickies, and the lead for Purdue grows to 3.
And that's your senior leader making plays, making shots, getting stops on the defensive end. Schofield, Carson
Another
Edwards.
steal. Bone looked like he may have turned an ankle. Edwards, net at the rim, but it's Matthias who picks up the offensive rebound. No foul called. He's got the last 7, and Purdue's got a 5-point lead.
We talked about experience making a difference. Carson Edwards going to boom this one on these Tennessee Volunteers. Met at the rim, and Matthias just following up the play.
Dakota Matthias has got the last 7, including this 3. On the other end, Bone has come out of the game. He looked like he had turned his ankle. So he's out, and both coaches are fired up here about the lack of calls. I think Barnes wanted one on Bone.
I think you're right.
And Painter certainly wanted one on Matthias.
They've let him play here in overtime. And Dakota Matthias making plays at both ends of the floor.
We're in overtime, 3:25 to go. Barnes wants a call there, and he's not going to get it on Carson Edwards, making life hard on James Daniel. Alexander, rare three. He knocks it down.
Certainly not what he's known for, but steps into that with confidence and knocks it down.
The 6'11", 220-pounder launching a three. That was a big one.
Today, I don't think he's taken one on the season.
Schofield dives and misses it. Vince Edwards, as Schofield continues to flop on the floor. Thompson, he buries a three.
You know what? That's what P.J. Thompson does. And last year in the NCAA tournament against Iowa State, whether it was the big three he made against them or the 2 free throws to seal the game, that's your senior leader, your point guard, knocking down the open jumper.
What a difference the overtime has been for the effectiveness of the shooting from Purdue, given what they did in the second half.
Finally in a rhythm, making some jump shots, what they are known for.
Big trip for Tennessee.
Huge trip.
See if Daniel, who once led the country in scoring, starts to go back into that scoring mode.
They like that mid-post action for Williams. Great pass.
Schofield too much. Offensive rebound, no. Second chance, yes, as Haas was on the floor. Williams gets it to go.
He's stuck with that one again. We got a wet basketball out there. Tennessee has found something they like with Grant Williams there at that mid post, and they've really gotten whatever they wanted. You know, they've gotten open shots at the rim, they've gotten threes. They're going to keep going back to that because that is definitely working for this Volunteer squad.
Williams got them all after halftime, 18 of them. Haas wants it down low. Edwards launches a three, was contested, he misses.
Contest, yes.
And Schofield rips it away from his own teammate, Lamonte Turner.
James Daniel just getting a hand in Carson Edwards' face makes such a difference, Carl. The difference in a contested shot and an open shot, it is night and day. And when he gets it in that mid-post, he is effective.
Grant Williams' score is 73-72. We haven't updated it yet.
And Tennessee's bench winding over and back, but certainly knocked that ball into the backcourt, and they're going to get Isaac Haas for steps.
It's interesting. Haas has played the entire overtime. Harms now comes in. But late in the regulation, it was Harms who was on the floor.
Yeah, and they were kind of doing an offense for defense substitution. And I think Matt Painter liked the way his team was playing. He felt they were in an offensive flow there to start overtime. Left Haas in, and now we see he's going to go with Harms, more of a defensive presence.
1 minute to go. Looks like we're going to get a timeout call by Rick Barnes and Tennessee. So a one-point game, Purdue leading 73-72. It's kind of been the Matthias and Grant Williams show in overtime.
No, it has, and I think Matthias has been a guy. He's been dominant for Purdue. I mean, he's made plays on both ends of the floor. He's knocked down jumpers. He's done a little bit of everything. He's made winning plays. And when you're a guy that's been through it, you've played, you're a senior, and you know what it takes to win, especially against good teams. And he's done an incredibly good job of just doing that. You know, he has been in the right position. He's made shots. He's done a little bit of everything for this Purdue team.
He's having a terrific senior season.
Yeah, no, he shot the basketball incredibly well. He's been, he just knows how to play. I mean, that's the thing about him is he's been a guy that he can do a little bit of everything. He can facilitate, he can make shots. Defensively, he's one of the best defenders in the Big Ten Conference. He's off to a great start in this young season.
15 points. He's got 8 rebounds, a handful of assists. As you can see, they're working on that ankle of the point guard, Jordan Bone. The turnover led to a wild sequence, which ultimately ended up with Matthias laying it up and laying it in. Matthias averaging a 17 coming into this game. Edwards 18, Vince Edwards 15. Those 3 guys again have been the primary scorers, with Carson 21, Vince 11, now Matthias 15 in the game.
And Purdue's just really gotten it done at the free throw line.
Yeah,
I think we've seen that today. When their offense has struggled, they've been able to get fouled. Some of those coming 94 feet from the hoop. They've gotten to the line 25 times. Tennessee just 10 attempts. And that really kept them in it a lot of that second half.
Carson Edwards and Isaac Haas combined from the free throw line are 16 for 17. They've missed 1 between them. Edwards is 9 for 9.
And what a luxury for your 7'2" center to do that. I mean, how many guys that you see with that kind of size, whether it's NBA, college, whatever, you see the hack-a-shack almost employed. And with this team, Isaac Haas makes his free throws, so it's just something that you cannot do. You can leave him on the floor at the end of a game.
Purdue by 1. Bone, the point guard, not playing with a bad ankle. Again, they get it low to Williams. They had a trap set up. Harms squeezes him there, but he leaves Alexander wide open.
And Purdue switched that ball screen, left P.J. Thompson in the post, and they just fall asleep on the rotation. They go to double team, and no one's there.
.6-0 run. Tennessee now back on top by 1. You look at the different lineups too. A senior-laden Purdue team, and this is a pretty young Tennessee team who's playing with poise here lately.
They have. No, and we saw it right there. Purdue goes to double team, and Carson Edwards just completely falls asleep on the backside. But Tennessee has done a good job. A lot of the times in college basketball, youth struggles at the end of the game, and we have not seen that tonight. These sophomores now, freshmen last year, played in a ton of big games in the SEC conference.
Yep.
In their season.
For the SEC,
they're a year older and they're a year better.
How about the SEC this year?
And that is a monster right there. You're learning the teams right there. You got Kentucky,
A&M, Alabama.
Alabama's improved.
Auburn, Tennessee, Florida. Tennessee's defense, it's one thing Rick Barnes wanted to see improved this year. It has been very good today. He says we're better than at any point we were last season, and now they're going to rely on that defense. Up by 1 in overtime with 40 seconds to play.
They're going to go inside. That's a big-time post-up, though. That is right at the rim, Carl. That is exactly what Matt Painter drew up. We're bigger than you. We're going to impose our will. And that's exactly what they just did. And if you're Matt Painter, that's the best possession you've seen from Isaac Haas all night. On balance, strong, really good stuff there from another senior.
Uses its last timeout. Purdue has no timeouts. We got 27 seconds to go. Harms and Haas continue to communicate.
But look at where he's posting. He is on that block, and he keeps his balance, and he finishes with his body going to the rim. There's nobody on this floor that can check him physically. And right there, he imposed his will.
13 points now in the game for Isaac Haas. Oaks Bluff, Alabama, 7'2", 290. Played a really good game against Marquette. Had 22 in that game on the road. This was a Purdue team that also beat Fairfield earlier this year with like 19 three-pointers in that game. They got 10 three-pointers today. All right, so you're Tennessee. What's the game plan now? Back to
it's Grant Williams.
Back to Grant Williams.
I'm going to Grant Williams, and I'm getting him in the post. I think you've seen him post at that elbow. You've seen him post at the top of the key. But good things have happened for this Tennessee squad when they've gotten him the basketball. He's been able to back Vincent Edwards down. And it's been for himself. It's been for others. had a great second half, a very good overtime. I would go right back to that.
20 points on 7 of 17 shooting for Williams. 8 boards. 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Schofield looking for somebody to throw it into, and it's Alexander who'll hand it to Lamonte Turner. Turner had that big 3 at the end of regulation, send it into overtime.
Yep, here it is. He's going to back him down.
Good move and an easy layup. No answer for Grant Williams.
None.
They go back on top. And now we're at 10.
Matt Painter going to let him play.
Free throw jumper. Short. Rebound. Fought for. Tennessee gets it. And they get fouled. Good hustle in the corner by Admiral Schofield.
Great hustle by Admiral Schofield. And that, he just went and got that basketball. He wanted it more. And we see the ball is knocked loose. 2 players go for it. The Admiral comes up with it.
Really hurt his shoulder at the end of regulation. Didn't know if he was going to come back. And there he is making a key play. And now with 2 seconds to go, Tennessee with a chance to go up 3. Free throw good. How about these Volunteers? Schofield pounds the floor.
Well, it hasn't been pretty, but they've stuck with it all day. And I don't think Rick Barnes wants it to be pretty. I think he wants this team to be gritty. He wants them to get after guys defensively.
Remember, this is a 26-foot ceiling, so a long 3-point shot, if that's what they have to do, is going to be a very difficult proposition. The ceiling is low here in this ballroom, and here comes that pass, and it's intercepted, and Tennessee's going to win it.
Well, just a great win for Tennessee. I mean, a resume-building win for this Volunteer squad. And they came in here today and they match-produced physicality. Oh, wow.
They may be calling a traveling violation here. I'm not sure how much time they're going to have on the clock, but they're going to look at it. That ball was inbounded.
And this would advance that basketball down into the front court.
Question is there going to be enough time to even get a shot off when they do this review?
But you also keep in mind with Purdue's size, you can throw that ball to the rim and tip it in.
3-point game now.
That's a good point. Never mind.
I see. So you want the tip on the foul.
Tip and 1. Yeah, there you go.
How about the story, though, down the stretch of Grant Williams, too, as this play being reviewed? And we'll show it to you.
Well, Tennessee, Rick Barnes, you got to give him credit. He saw that he had an advantage, and they had a mismatch physically, and he does travel.
He does, but there's like maybe 0.7.
Yeah. That's enough time to get a shot off, though.
So he holds it for a little while, and then there's that step. I imagine around 0.7 seconds.
That would be my guess as well.
Grant Williams, a story on one end, and now you're going to have a chance for a catch and shoot on the other end for Purdue. And really a good job by the officiating crew to not just have that game be called over.
Sure.
Alexander went up and got it. And watch him hold it. And when that foot moves, not that one, that one.
There's the one.
About 0.8, 0.7.
Yeah.
Mike Roberts, Darren George, and Clarence Armstrong, the officiating crew, as they discuss this.
And I think if you're Matt Painter right here,
no, they're going to call the game over.
Oh, wow.
They called the game over on what appeared to be a travel with about 0.7,
0.8 seconds.
Or 0.8 of a second left. Unless they decided that perhaps, well, even so, you could still, as you say, get the tip in and a foul. But I imagine Tennessee wouldn't try on defense if there was no chance to catch the ball and shoot it.
The clock starts running right away, and Kyle Alexander walks with it about 0.7, 0.8 seconds. So, yeah.
Grant Williams walks off. Tennessee a winner. 22 points, all of them coming after the half. 8 of them coming in overtime, as he is our player of the game, and that's brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. Interesting end, great game. Robbie, a lot of fun. We will continue with our battle for Atlantis. Our final score, 78-75. We'll be back with Villanova and Western Kentucky 20 minutes from now. Now to Adnan in the studio.
All right, Robbie, thank you very much. Interesting ending is a good way to put it, alongside Tola and Dallin Cuff. We'll get to the benefits of what this means for Tennessee, but seriously, Dallin, we all saw that's a traveling call. How is there not 0.7, 0.8 on the clock?
I have no idea. And we were involved in a game like this last year with Texas A&M and Georgia, where there was a clock issue, and they came and still told us that they were going to expire the clock and explain that. I would like to see the officials walk over and explain to Robbie and Ravi what was going on there and why there wasn't, because it looked like us, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. That's time to get a shot up.
Well, you assume they explained it to Matt Painter, because if I'm Matt Painter, I'm not leaving the floor without an explanation. I mean, he clearly traveled. There was clearly time left on the clock, enough to be able to put up a shot on an under out of bounds. So you assume there was an explanation.
Good luck figuring it out otherwise. For Tennessee, obviously a great win. Tons of hustle plays. Grant Williams was terrific as well.
We'll start with the hustle plays first and foremost, because this team, Rick Barnes, you got to tip your hat to this crew. They just gritted this thing out from the very beginning. They shot 35% from the field. It was not pretty. It did not matter. They would not be denied. They imposed their will on this Purdue team. And then when you get to Grant Williams, they rode him down the stretch. 22 points, 8 rebounds. This team was fantastic in terms of their effort today.
Look, this was a great basketball game. We are all the beneficiaries of this. It was a fist fight. It was a battle of wills. If you see this guy in a dark alley, go in the other direction. Run. I mean, look, we pontificating analysts talk about intangible impact. Tennessee is the quintessential intangible impact team. They compete their rear ends off. They're in your face playing hard. They were +9 on the glass, +14 points in the paint, and +10 on second chance points. They pounded a team. So often Purdue is the big, bright, shiny object with their size, and Tennessee murdered them in that paint.
And clearly, this is a big victory for Tennessee moving forward, right, Dale?
It's huge. This is a team that was picked to finish second to last in the SEC conference. And we've been talking about it for the first 10 days, 11 days of the season. The SEC is not just on the come-up. They are already there. I think this team, this conference has some really big wins early in the season. They have a lot of depth. I think 7 tournament teams might toss Tennessee in there, right? And this is a game that you come into March. Yeah. This is a huge proof point to go in a neutral venue and to beat a Purdue team that's supposed to compete to win the Big Ten title.
Yeah, look, I give Rick Barnes a lot of credit because this program was a resurrection when he got there. And I always say, you want to know who a coach is, just watch their team play. Rick Barnes is a fighter. He always has been, and so is his team. They match his identity. And look, they're going to be outsized in a lot of games, and they've been that way the last 2 years, and perhaps out-talented. But that intangible impact that we throw out there so often in our pretentious way, it came through today for them.
100%.
For Carson Edwards in Purdue, he did have 21 points. She did not shoot well, 5 of 17, 5 boards overall. But this is the greater topic here of Big Ten basketball so far early in the season. As we take a look right now, you know, Iowa lost to Louisiana Lafayette by 9, South Dakota State, Northwestern losing to Texas Tech by 36, Michigan falling to LSU, and Purdue now as well. Anything you take from this, Chris, seeing these Big Ten teams, at least early in the season, having some notable losses?
Well, the conference is not nearly, I think, as good as we had thought it might be. I think Northwestern has been a disappointment, a team that we thought would be right there. I mean, look, Michigan State's going to carry the mantle. They are far and away the best team in that conference. I actually think Maryland has a chance to be really good, and Minnesota, two teams that, you know, we thought Northwestern after their magical run would probably be a little bit higher. But there have been some struggles from teams we thought would be better.
I mean, we showed you some of them. Iowa, Maryland, you mentioned, Penn State, Wisconsin. There's just a lot of question marks when it comes to the Big Ten. We're talking about the SEC, the Big East. I think both those conferences are loaded. The Big Ten, I'm still wondering what we have outside of Michigan State. And even Michigan State, though, they did lose to Duke. Now, that's losing the best team in the country in terms of talent, but they didn't look great in that loss. And there's a lot of question marks. The team I'm not confused about is Minnesota. I think Richard Pitino's team knows exactly who they are. They can defend, they can rebound, and they have these two guys, Jordan Murphy and Reggie Lynch, can dominate you inside on the boards. They can dominate you protecting the rim. Nate Mason is one of the best guards in the country, and then Amir Coffey, he's a great wing player, the sophomore really coming of age. I like this Minnesota team a lot. They're one of the few teams, them and Michigan State are the two teams I feel really good about. I felt good about Purdue, that performance today, when you got punked, they didn't really have an answer. Down the stretch, Vince Edwards did everything he could to try to put that team on his back, but there just wasn't enough around him in terms of toughness to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not, this is not a referendum on Purdue, so I disagree to some extent with you there. I think they're still very good. Again, not a lot of teams have that front line, but in an inside fight where Tennessee came in and they were kind of Mike Tyson in the whole thing, that's where Purdue struggled. Their guards, I will say this about Purdue, their guards have been criticized a lot over the last 2 years. And again, we fall in love with the bright, shiny object of the 7-footers. Those guards came up huge today for Purdue. Carson Edwards and Dakota Mathias were huge down the stretch of that game.
I would say that I wouldn't say that you're right. It's not a referendum on them right now. I thought this team would handle Tennessee. I thought they would not have this much toughness, a question with the toughness and bounce back from a team. When your shots aren't going in, what else are you doing well? And that was the issue. They weren't making threes. They shot under 40%, and they didn't have another answer, and that's what kind of surprised me.
Let's start with the Big Ten. Another issue with regards to them, that scheduling is going to be different this year. We wonder how that's going to affect them overall. Conference play is actually beginning, that's right, the first weekend of December. It's right around the corner as conference games will be played in all 7 days of the week, 51 to 55 days between January 2nd, February 25th, have at least one conference game. And here's what is most notable. The conference tournament begins February 28th at Madison Square Garden. Last year's tournament began March 8th. They don't want to conflict with the Big East tournament taking place at MSG. But what does this mean, Dal, when you're moving up the schedule a week early like that?